What's up with the
I'm
Kansas thing?
gonna do an
Oh,
accent.
it's like
I'm gonna do an
fuck
accent
me.
for a majority
Okay.
of this podcast. And I'm gonna just
Okay.
call everybody just a big old.
I told you
Don't pay him.
what
Don't pay him none. Don't
I
pay
told
him
you what the
attention.
border.
None.
I told you what the
He's
line
just a
was.
big old. But yeah, if I call
Yeah,
him Mr. Clark, it becomes unacceptable.
It becomes you get canceled immediately.
Come on over
Why?
here, Mr. Clark. I can't do that.
Because now
Line.
because now it sounds like the help, and now it's not.
Oh,
It's no
I hear
longer.
it. I hear it now.
You'll hear
I
it.
hear it.
You'll hear it.
It's
But
a
if I
whole
was
thing.
like, don't pay him none attention, he just did a big old pile of mush like that, acceptable.
Got it.
I paused up.
I know, I'm no Superman.
Welcome to Films in Black and White, everybody. How are we all
I
feeling?
think I also added that in here. Oh, it's in the other one.
It's okay. We are here with you, a very special Sunday edition
Yes.
of the podcast. Very excited. It's here. We've been waiting for a while, but we are going to talk James Gunn's Superman. So we're very excited to talk about that.
Yeah.
And that's really the majority of this is. This is the cap of Supermania month.
Yeah.
If you remember, and I'll just bring this up because I can. This is what we did. This is where we've been, y'all. We did 1 and 2. We did Superman Returns, and then we did Man of Steel last week. All of these you can go back and check them out on wherever you get your podcasts because they are live up there. But then we are going to talk James Gunn's Superman today, so it's a big day. But in order to do it well. And in order to do it right, because I really don't hold on. Before we get into the intros, I do want to do this. I do want to shout out Marcus.
Oh shit! I wasn't gonna drop air horns. I didn't know it was for me.
He dropped air horns for himself.
No,
that
you
is well.
should.
Here's the thing: it is well deserved and well earned because he dropped, and he'll talk about it, I'm sure. But he dropped Big Texas today. So one, happy Houston Day to Marcus. And then 2, shout outs for dropping Big Texas today. I listened to it while I was doing leg presses at the gym.
I saw that.
Got me fired through it. You got me through 3 sets of 395 for 12. So like,
whoa.
That
Okay.
man is pushing a fucking. That man pushing a fucking house.
And you know what? And you know what helped? Big Texas helped. So
Big
shout
Texas.
out to you for that. So I just wanted to take a minute, give you your flowers, and go from there. So
I appreciate that, my friend.
but we do also have to do intros. So I'm gonna actually kick it just straight on down to the Mocha Cowboy himself. Marcus, how you feeling, sir?
I feel fantastic. Thank you to my good friend Doug Wagner. Thank you to Brian. It is Big Texas Day. It's 713 day, baby. BIGTEXAS, spell check them. You know what I mean? And so, like, this is a big day. I'm a big overthinker. I talked about this in the pop-up pod that we did. I'm a big overthinker. People around me connected to the music know that. So by the time that I've heard this like 1,000 times essentially, or 100 times essentially, by the time you all get it, it's still fresh to you. And so I'm trying to be better at promoting things that I've sat with, overthought, and just be more diligent about the things I love, because it takes a lot to put it into it. And so I'm just honored to be here. This next chapter of Big Texas, it is not like just a character. That is me. But this is like based off of this character that Doug and I we built this thing
made up in a Sam's Club.
Made up in a Sam's Club, seeing the Big Texas cinnamon roll. Like that is how that came. But then it made me sit and think and be like, that is who I am, right? That Big Texas cinnamon roll was something I ate for breakfast, and Doug also being the one to say, yeah, you should drop that on 7/13. I'm like, it's a Sunday. He has no memory. We talked about this in the car. He has zero memory. He said that it's recorded.
Like, I dropped it. He's like, I dropped it on you. I dropped it on Sunday. That's weird. But he's like, well, that's a shout out to you. I was like, wait, what?
He said, huh? Who said that? I said, you said that. He
I was
just
like, I did.
didn't remember at all. So I could have gave him credit, didn't give him credit, but I got to give my guy credit. He said do it. And today was the best day. It was so much love that we've gotten. Accidentally made a gym hit because everybody's been like sending me like videos or snippets of them in a gym. So now I'm like, oh, I guess I made a gym hit. So like that's great. So very grateful to be here. Excited to fucking pod about Superman. I am so excited.
Yeah.
So
There was something I was going to ask you. Oh, not what I was going to ask. I was going to contribute to say, I get it. The polishing stuff. Like I get that. I mentioned you and I talked a little bit about.
Yeah. What'd you call it? You call it
like tweaking. Like you just like there's like a never phrase. Like I used to like when we first started doing the podcast, I also had that same thing of like, did I catch all the ums? Did I catch all the ahs? Did I forget to do is that too loud? Does that sound level? And eventually I was just like, I'm gonna screw this up more than anything. So I just started leaving it and it's fine. But I do get that of like you sit there and you obsess over it and you're like, don't like it, I hate it. And then
because you still want it good. It's our product, just like this pod, right? It's like
right.
Anything that we invest in is something that's got our name on it. I'm not gonna put out no bullshit. None of us would ever put out anything that we half thought or halfway did. But we also can't just like sit with it forever, just like in here. So you gotta let that shit go. If you are a creative in any capacity, I don't give a fuck if you're an influencer, streamer, artist, you paint, you do watercolors, I don't give a fuck. Just believe in your art. Just start there and then just put that shit out.
100%. Absolutely, completely agree. Brad Roush, aka Green Lantern. How you feeling, sir?
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. Also, happy Big Texas Day to all who celebrate. Yes, it's phenomenal. Absolutely go check that out. I mean, it's streaming everywhere you stream songs. So I listen to it on Spotify. I love it. Love that feature from Katie the Poet. So I encourage you all to go check that out.
That whole thing's fire. So
he smoked that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, no, I'm happy to be here. I just saw James Gunn's Superman, so I am fresh. Like I'm
real fresh,
sizzling fresh from the pan. I'm hot and ready, as it were. For using the grill.
Someone call you Little Caesars, huh?
Little Caesars ready. I get it.
Pizza. So we're ready. We're ready to fling some pizza. The food analogy got away from me, but I just saw the movie. Is what I'm trying to communicate to you. So get excited. I'm going to process some things live. It's going to be great. Sat through the whole thing, both post-credit scenes. I didn't know what to expect from that. So yeah, and I'm also super fresh. I just got back from a road trip to Minnesota, so I'm enjoying my Sunday night. So you're getting Bourbon Brian tonight. So I want to bring that energy to this because one of the things I love about our podcast, and this isn't the Patreon like call to action, but it could be. One of the things I love about this podcast is we've been talking about Superman now for like 3 weeks, and I love that. We've talked about so many Superman movies, and so join the Patty family, patreon.com/films in black and white. And not like, I don't know any other podcast that went all the way back to the first Christopher Reeve movie and just started talking about who the Superman character is, because it is so satisfying. I'm going to talk about this more later, but it's so satisfying to end our journey here with this movie, having all of that context. And if you haven't listened to our previous episodes, go back, listen to them, because we did Superman 1, Superman 2, Superman Returns, which makes me chuckle now, and then Man of Steel. So we're here. We made it to James Gunn Superman.
We did it. We made it. This is mostly for us. Like we just made it. We were able to get through it all.
You know when you can see the red tape at the finish line, you're like, I just need to just get through that.
I just need to get there. Like, there's the
Man of Steel. And I love Superman, but we've done a lot of Superman, y'all.
We have, and I'm so and this is a good time to say we're going to be on hiatus next week, so this pod will need to hold you over until we talk about Fantastic Four.
Yes, I also want us to highlight that because we're going from this to Fantastic Four
directly.
So, no stops.
Do not pass go, or I guess pass go, pass jail. I'm using the Monopoly references now. Just
that's what you want. We won't be here.
Yeah, go wherever you want because we're not going to be here.
Yeah.
But
Brian,
Doug
how was
Wack-
Minnesota?
Oh,
Oh, you're
I was
good.
see, I was trying to introduce him. I didn't want to forget this time. I was
No,
jumping
no.
the
I
gun.
appreciate you not forgetting,
Nah,
but I
yeah,
also want to make
yeah.
sure his road trip and his time away was
Oh,
good as
That he
well.
was
You're
safe,
fine.
yes.
Road trip was great. I went to my home state of Minnesota. So I basically I took all the aura from the lakes and I recharged my mana. So now I'm ready. I'm ready to go. No, I'm just kidding. But we saw some good friends, Aaron and Josh. Shout out to them. They hosted us. I went to a
Aaron and Josh.
sauna every night. The folks who hosted us, they have
Every
their
night?
own sauna. Yeah, they have their own sauna at their house, and then they also have like a cold plunge. So I feel very Minnesotan, like going to the sauna in 200 degrees and then
Yeah.
being like, all right, get in this 40-degree water. And you're like, okay. It was very relaxing.
Did you
So,
go the other way too? Did you go cold water
Oh,
then hot after?
I did not. No. After I
Okay.
finished my journey, I like cooled off and I was like, I'm good. I'm set. I
Finished
don't
my
need to get
journey.
up again. Yeah. I mean, once you hit that cold plunge, you're like, I'm cooled off. I'm ready for bed. I'm done.
I did I did a cold plunge in my bathtub once, and I don't think I'll do it again.
I've done
so-
that. I've done ice
Oh,
like
man.
done an ice bath in the bathtub once.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
I sat in there for 5 minutes. I put like 4 bags of ice in there, and I just sat in there and I just froze. And I was like, "Why do people do this?" And then I
Well,
got
what
out
did
and I
you
left.
What
It
did
helps
you
with your
do it in?
inflammation.
Tub?
Huh?
You did it in a tub or
Yeah,
like
just a bathtub that's like right
no,
over
like a
there.
bathtub? Nice.
Yeah.
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 I love. I think we used to do it for football. It
Oh,
does
yeah.
make you feel a little bit like better once you're in it, but the
Mhm.
process of getting in it is like yeah, it's a lot. But
I also want to be really clear. The exercise science on it, for those that are like, I do it because it helps me burn fat. There's no science that backs
No.
any of that claim up. It's
No.
if you're doing it because it feels
Roman.
good and maybe it makes your joints feel better. Like
Roman.
let's just make that very clear.
Roman said this in the pop-up pod. He said that we could have a fitness pop-up pod
Oh,
for
gosh.
Doug.
Well, I don't want to be that guy, but yes, we could. We could do that. Come with your
Yeah.
fitness questions. I have answers.
Also, for those that are listening just to the
Oh,
podcast
goodness.
format, we are exploring doing pop-up podcasts, whether it's scheduled or unscheduled, where
Yeah.
we'll go live on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch and just talk about just one thing. This one today, we were talking. Marcus was all about Big Texas. It was just him doing his thing. So keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Way
Really
to
good
plug
time.
that, Brian. Way to plug
It was a
that.
good time. Yeah, thanks, Brian. But Doug, not that kind of interview. Wagner, how are you doing, man? What's up with you?
I'm doing outstanding. It was a great weekend. It's been a great week. We're doing this early because I have to go to Las Vegas tomorrow. I'm not excited about it. I really would rather not. I don't know what it is though. I'm excited to see like people that I work with and to do it like from the work side of things. So all of that, like I'm excited. But I think I've just gotten some bad stories about Las Vegas lately of being like just like being accosted by hookers on the street, and I just don't
Wait a
have
minute.
I just don't have the patience for it.
What? No.
So-
Stop. Wait, who said this?
Well, my mother did. So
I was about to say it was either your mom or a
Wait a
newly
minute.
turned reverend that just left Las Vegas.
so my
and
mom
did
my
some,
mom would
you
never
know?
go to Vegas, but she said she kept once I told her I had to go to Vegas, it was like she waited 5 seconds and she was like, well, my friend and her husband were down there, and the hookers on the street kept asking like if her husband would like to, spend some money, and she spoke up and said, I'm his wife, and the hooker said, we do threesomes, and so you got, and I was like, mother, we do not we don't
Okay.
need to do this at all.
I
How
feel like that's
how
a story
inclusive.
where it's like, and then everybody clapped, or
Like,
like,
yep.
it actually did happen. It could go either
Yeah.
way.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it could be. And then my mom goes out of her way to be like, and she's like, they're both like really traditional Jews. Like they're very like the whole, and I was like, Mom, we can stop. Like this is, I get it. So so
I
that's
don't know when the
that's-
I don't know
that's
when the
my
last
mom's
time I
story.
heard somebody call somebody a hooker. Like I don't know.
Me either.
I don't know
yeah.
that I've heard that. It's like,
Well,
No.
my mom is full of great phrases like that. So like she'll be like hooker. She also really loves if
careful now. Yeah, careful.
okay.
Careful.
I love
we love
all right,
your
let's
mom.
start here.
We love,
I love my mom. I love my
Shout out
mom.
to
She's
Jan. Shout out
she's
to
great.
Jan Wagner.
She's a great
James
lady.
Gunn's watching the pod, being like, "All right, let's see where this goes."
Well, she's a great lady.
Came for
However-
Superman here for the Vegas story.
My mom also, anytime like a woman was wearing like really tall high heels,
Okay.
and in a situation where it wasn't appropriate to be wearing like really tall heels, my
Hmm.
mom always used to say like phrases like, "Oh yeah, and she has those fuck me pumps on," and she's referring to her high heels, and so that's. You guys, that is like one of the like fuck me pumps is just one of those phrases that is lasered into my brain. Like
Your
I will
mom said that to
never,
you?
I will always remember. Like, so the next time you see somebody out and they have really tall heels on, you're gonna be like, son of a bitch. Yep, that's it. Like,
Okay,
you're
wait,
not gonna be able to unsee
What
it.
is a really tall heel though? Like, is like 6-inch stiletto? Is it specific?
It's like I don't know. I
Could
don't
it
know
be a cat heel?
shoes.
Like a cat heel?
I think like anything that would be.
No,
There's
not
too
a
many
kitty,
heels.
right? Like not a kid, like not a
Not like a
heel,
short drop, but like
Not
a
a wedge
tall
either.
dra-
Not a
yeah,
wedge
not a
either,
wedge.
right?
No, like a heel.
But what's high? Like that's a
I don't know.
man.
I don't
That's it's a rocky standard to have.
There's
there.
a fine line between shoes and fuck me pumps, and I don't
Okay,
know which one.
well,
I don't know where it is.
From the experts
Sometimes I
at
wear fuck me Crocs.
Nordstrom, they say anything between 3 and 3.25 inches is high.
Is high.
So
Okay,
that's,
I feel like
what I'm
regular,
saying.
a regular
we'll go
heel
with the
is like
Nordstrom
3 inches.
definition.
Welcome to Heels in Black and White.
Welcome to
From three
footwear
people
with
who
the
probably
boys.
have not worn heels.
Welcome to Nordstrom's. Fuck me.
Fuck me pumps. Hey, welcome to female footwear with films in black and white.
Can you take me to the fuck me pump section, please? I'm here specifically for a red bear. Like,
Oh God. Oh, speaking of
and
footwear,
first of all, don't say films in black and white footwear because then we look like we got foot fetish. Like it's a foot fetish pod now.
look, I'm just trying to open us up to a whole other audience. That's all I'm
No,
trying to do here.
Start with the pop-up pod, then go foot fetish.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Here's the other story. So Marcus and Mason and Harrison and I all went to this movie, and we were up in New
Excellent.
Falls, and I had a very odd experience in a department store.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went
With
in
your
there
twin.
looking for work shoes, and so I walked in to this department store, and I walked past the security guard, and I looked over at him, and I was like, okay. And immediately the first thing I noticed was that he had like a branded shirt on. So it said like the name of the department store. But the other thing that was jarring is that I thought right away, I saw 3 clips, like bullet clips, like on his belt. And I was like, are those 3 clips? So like I walked and like I looked around and I was like, holy shit, that's a fucking handgun. Like, so I don't know how many people the security guard thinks he needs to shoot, but if you're thinking of robbing the Dillards in Sioux Falls, don't. He has extra ammo. Like I was flabbergasted.
You never know when you got a mag.
He could
dump
shoot
in the
someone
mall,
12
all right?
times and then reload 3 more times.
Who wants Dillard's that bad?
He's
That's
either-
the question.
Right?
Marcus also made the point of like, he's either a dog shit shot or he is way prepared. He shoots like a
Overly
stormtrooper.
prepared.
That's why he has to have so many.
Fucking Janice is just there to find herself some kitten heels and some fuck me pumps, and now all of a sudden she's got 12 shots in her ass.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's the whole thing.
Absolutely.
whole
I think Doug is.
But-
I think Doug is doing this podcast from a Windows Media Player.
No. I am doing it from Google Chrome. I'm doing
Excellent.
it from Google Chrome.
Okay.
It's not me. I swear to God, it's not me.
Brian, is it just me? Maybe it's just me.
I mean, Doug's freezing a little bit, but the audio's coming through crisp and clear to hear about how many magazines.
And that is the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters.
Mm-hmm.
But my AKA. So we did see this with Harrison. And I'm not gonna. This doesn't spoil anything, but there's a lot of moments where Superman and Lois kiss, and there's a moment. There's a moment where at the at the end, Superman says to Lois, he goes, I think I want to do an interview with you, Lois, to give you my whole side of the story.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
they go off and they have a romantic moment. And
That's nice.
Harrison, when they start kissing, he covers his eyes and he looks, he goes, not that kind of interview. Like, so it was
great.
hilarious.
It
Oh
was
my
great.
gosh,
So
I
my
love that. I
AKA
love him.
Is a shout out to Harrison.
Great.
That was one
Oh,
of my favorite
love
moments
Harrison.
from this whole thing. So,
Yeah.
but Brian, we
Hello.
do have ways in which some socials that folks can use to stay in touch with us. You want to run those down for us?
Hello. Yes, you can stay in touch with us on a variety of social media platforms. The first one is Instagram at Films in Black and White. And then it's the same handle for Facebook at Films in Black and White. And then the last two we have TikTok again at Films in Black and White. And then YouTube at Films in Black and White. Now, the next one is Twitch, which is the one I'll end on. This one's tricky because it's at Films in Black, the letter N, White. And we live cast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch when we record the pod. You can comment, we respond. You can just ask Nikki, the pop-up pod viewer, or Mason. We respond to you. We'll put your comments on our screen, have a conversation with you, and we will be going back to our regularly scheduled programming of recording this live on July 28th, and we'll be live again at 8 p.m. Central Time, again on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, and you can watch us live. So new podcast episodes drop every Wednesday. If that is how you get us, that's a great way to also listen to everything that we have here. And I already gave you the Patreon shout out, so I won't bug you again for that, but go sign up for a heat. Okay.
It's
Go
great.
sign
We'd
up for
love
a
to
heat.
have you. We'd love to have you.
Well, look, Papa Pod Viewer, you might have a name, but you change your name. Maybe it's Roman. Maybe it is.
He also doesn't. It's also a Whopper as the emoji. So
I'm not mad about it.
Oh, it's the Winky Whopper.
That's the winky.
Oh.
That's the winky stuck me Whopper. That's
I
what
don't
that
like
is.
the thing that does. Well,
Oh.
ew, I don't like the way you said it.
I don't.
That's like that
I don't
M&M commercial before the movie where they were like, "There's
I have a
in
peanut
me?
inside
I have a
me?"
peanut in me." I was like,
Oh
what?
God, I don't like that at all. I hate that. Gentlemen, we do have a whole podcast we have to get to, but before we do that, a little game that we like to call Catch That Quotable.
Catch that quotable.
Sleepy sounds, Marcus J. Gentlemen, are you ready for this week's quote? All right, here we go. The quote is, "Never tell me the odds."
What?
I mean, really?
Yes,
Really?
this is really it. This is really it. Never tell me the odds.
Okay. Empire Strikes Back. Lock in.
All right, Brian. Brian. Nailed it.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Fucking nailed it.
Thank you for the gimme, Roman. Sometimes you get a gimme, and I
You
will
need
not
a
miss that
low ball.
opportunity.
Every
Yeah.
once in a while.
feels-
Sixers.
Yeah, this does.
Oh, it's on loop. I'm sorry, I forgot it was on loop. It's like, what the fuck?
I can't wait for it's just periodically air horns throughout the whole podcast.
I didn't even see your comment, Roman. I locked that in immediately. I didn't.
Roman
even see
was
your
begging.
comment.
You know
That
it's
was
bad when Roman's begging us to get it.
That was an underhand toss. That's what that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love Mark. I also love Roman's passive aggressiveness with this latest run of Catch That Quotable. He goes,
Yes.
I think we're at $70, but I gotta go a ways back and check.
It's
Yes.
very,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
bad.
you do.
Very
I
bad.
feel like we might.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get $10 every time we get it right. I feel like we need to say it because it's been a minute
do.
since
We do.
we've got one
I
right.
mean, it
And then
has.
When we hit
We need
100, we'll
more-
be
what we
donating
need
that.
is more quotes from everybody so that we
Mhm.
can get more
Yeah.
practice in. You don't want to get too comfortable with just Roman because then
True.
then he throws us low balls. If we get more people from everybody, now that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Because they don't give a fuck about us.
That's true. That's very, very true.
I mean, I
Nikki,
think some
send us
people
one on
frozen.
Instagram.
Yeah, Nikki, you can send us one on Instagram.
True.
Am I frozen?
Nope.
Oh God.
It's a little bit of a delay. there.
Okay, good.
Oh, look,
Okay,
he's
great.
off.
I love it.
He's
I
way
love
off. He is
where this
way
is. I love where this is.
Al
Which is
Gore
not
is
fun.
really
So,
happy with where
As
he's
Doug
Um,
Wagner is getting his internet adjusted, and Al Gore, he's fighting Al Gore in his basement. We had you can send us a movie quote, Nikki, if you ever want to. Anything that you've been watching, all you got to do is send us a message on any socials. We'll check our messages. Instagram is a little bit easier. TikTok, I forget to check those messages. I forget to check my own messages.
I check them, but no
Brian's
worries
up
there.
there.
Yep,
So send
I'm
them
over
wherever
there.
you want to, and if you send it to one person, one of us will grab that quote. Don't put what the movie's from, but we raise money. Roman helps us by donating $10 every time that we get a quote right, and then we end up donating that to a charity. The only money that we receive that we keep is from our Patreon, so that we can remain an independent podcast, which is what Brian was promoting at the beginning of the pod. So if you want to support us as an independent podcast, donate to join the smallest tier for $5, less than a cup of coffee now, because coffee is expensive nowadays. And then if you want to just help with donating to charity and things like that, send a movie quote, and Roman Myers helps us with making that donations to a charity that we select. I believe once we hit 100, every time we hit $100, the next donation we're doing is to those in Texas, those impacted by the floods and the storms in Texas.
By the Texas floods, we'll be donating to an organization that will be helping folks down there.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
In the past, we've also donated to organizations such as the National Immigration Agency, that's also based here in Chicago. Also, an organization called Elevated Access. That's a nonprofit that enables women to find health care by providing flights on planes to states where they can get that health care at no cost.
Absolutely. Thank you all for covering me while I went another 12 rounds with Al Gore and his internet.
But you beat him.
I did. I won.
You beat him.
Marcus,
Somebody
would you care to give us a barbershop summary for James Gunn's Superman?
God. Okay. This.
Also, spoiler alert. Just
really
quick before he gets into it, big spoiler alert. We're going to talk about everything.
Oh
so
my
if
God.
you haven't seen the movie yet, heed the advice of Red Hulk's hand and understand that this is a spoiler alert and that we're going to talk about some things maybe you haven't seen yet. So
that's the only one that fits our like.
I mean, it's perfect. I mean, it works really well. So I'm not mad about it, but
it is kind of funny.
It is funny because it doesn't fit anything else but that movie specifically. It's a big red hand. So what had happened was, all right, this movie is the starting point for the new DCU. James Gunn and Peter Safran and WB's new DC universe. All right. This is the new beginning. Superman actually actively kicks all of this off, as we learned from James Gunn. So in this movie, we find Superman. It kicks us off in a winter wonderland that is Antarctica. All right. And it says that 3 centuries ago, metahumans were born, and that that was the first learning and sighting of a metahuman, where gods and monsters were born. All right. Then it said that 30 years ago, a kid came to this planet in a spaceship and was raised by simple, loving Kansas farmers. All right. And then from that point, 3 years ago, he revealed himself to the world. And then 3 months ago, he went and stopped a war in Moravia.
Yep.
Moravia. He stopped an invasion into Moravia, into Junipur by Moravia. Okay, he stopped that invasion. All right. And then 3 minutes ago, I think was the other thing, 3 hours ago, he just got his ass whooped by the Moravia hammer. All right. So we see Superman get his ass whooped. We see Crypto drag Superman to the Fortress of Solitude. While he's in the Fortress of Solitude, there's this message that is repeating as the super robots come, and they their name 1 through 4, and at the end, one is named Gary. We see him, they put him into the sun, they're trying to fix him. He just got his ass whooped. He got a broken liver, broken rib, broken everything. All right. And so in that moment, they ask for him, they play his parents' message that says that always like reassures him. And in the message, it is in Kryptonian, and it translates to basically, you're going to go and be the hope of this world. Use the strength and use and be this flying light and everything that you need to be for the people of Earth. All right. So that is the only part of the message. And they say that the rest of the message is destroyed. So Superman gets healed. He flies back into Metropolis, into the fray that he calls it, to go fight the Hammer. The Hammer then flies away. We see that Lex Luthor is behind the Hammer. All right. He has these moves. He's been studying Superman Superman for 3 years and has a team of people calling out all these different moves to help beat Superman. He wants to beat Superman. He does not like Superman. He thinks the antithesis, while he's also promoting his own brand of metahumans and warriors and soldiers called Planet Watch. He wants to run it by the government. The government says, fuck no, boy, we don't trust you like that, motherfucker. And he says, you're going to learn your lesson. The government then says, hey, you need to find we're not going to pass this because I don't trust you, because you can get money and you have more need for this that would benefit you than us. We're not going to do anything unless Superman has a reason for us to go after him. All right. So then Lex and his team break into the Fortress of Solitude. All right. They just walk right the fuck in. They go, they take information from the Fortress of Solitude computer, as they also destroy everything in that motherfucker. Then they leave. They then play this full video that is the engineer is able to then put the full video back together of his parents. And at the end, they say that it is a real video that is his parents telling him, go and take over Earth, make a harem of wives, and because they're simple and they're stupid, and you can lord them, go and take over. Everybody turns on Superman, the Justice Gang, which is Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, Hawk Girl.
That was Hawk Girl, yeah.
Mr. Terrific are all in this Justice Gang. They then are like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, that's not true. They say, no, this is actually real. Lex gets his approval. They then go beat Superman's ass. He then takes him to a prison, has found kryptonite, makes him super sick. Superman then needs to break out of this while also being this massive hope and beat Lex Luthor and his plan and all of these other people with a team of people supporting him.
Yeah, that's a pretty thorough synopsis. So well done. I'm cheers to you for that one. So yeah, I appreciate you giving
There's a lot of details you could go into that also feel important, because there are supporting characters that play a part into this story.
There's a lot of stuff happening here. So I appreciate you did a great job, even though there's a lot to get into. I'm going to run down cast and box office quick. So David Cornsweet, born to play Clark Kent Superman. So he plays Clark Kent Superman.
They said that motherfucker is 6'4", 290.
Holy shit.
I think they said when he came in, when he got the role, he wasn't that big, but he said when he got back, he was 6'4", that he was smaller in mass. When he first auditioned, he came back, he said he was 6'4", 290, and they were like, what the fuck?
God damn. Oh,
I think it was 290. But
go to bodybuilding.com for his workout, because they'll post it there. Rachel Brosnahan plays Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult plays Lex Luthor. Isabella Merced plays Hawk Girl. Nathan Fillion plays Green Lantern. Maria Gabriela DeFaria plays the engineer. Sarah Sampaio plays Eve Teschmacher.
Miss Teschmacher.
Skylar God, my eyes and being old. Skylar Gizondo plays Jimmy Olsen. Anthony Kerrigan plays Metamorpho. Michaela Hoover plays Cat Grant. Edie Gathke plays Mr. Terrific. Wendell Pierce plays Perry White. Who else am I leaving out? Pruitt Taylor Vince plays John Kent. Neva Howell plays John Kent. Neva Howell plays Martha Kent. There are some others in here that I want to mention, but they're kind of like secret, like they're drops later. They're semi-spoilerly, so I want to like keep it here. So there are others that we will announce as we get through it. But that's what we got. Box office. $122 million like in the US, $217 million worldwide to date. Allegedly, the budget was around $255 million.
Oh, I saw 225.
Oh, I saw 350 with marketing.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, let's go with 350 with marketing, because I think that's important. So 350 with marketing. So, I mean, you're more than halfway at this place.
I saw that in the New York Times, if people want to fact check me.
No. I trust you. So, so 350 on the New York Times for their budget for all the movie and marketing. So that's what we got. Gentlemen, actually, Marcus, why don't you lead us through this? You have been our resident Kryptonian throughout this whole Supermania month. Lead us on the discussion, sir. Where's a good place for us to start?
I want to start here. I want to say that James, you listen here, you motherfucker. You did it. Hey, you did it.
He's standing up.
You did the damn thing. We had all these questions, right? We didn't know what the fuck was going on. You inherited some bullshit. Okay. You even your boss, who I heard David Zaslav, is smiling ear to fucking ear about this damn movie because it's making a shit ton of money, right? But James Gunn, we knew, imagine, right? I told this to Doug. Imagine you get to walk into a theater and you get to tell somebody that, oh yeah, from the director of Guardians of the Galaxy and Superman comes another fucking movie. Yeah, he fucking did it. Now, everybody, kick rocks. All the toxic Snyder fans that thought this shit was gonna fail, yeah, go kick some rocks. Yeah, go kick some rocks.
Oh, he unplugged his microphone, everybody. He was so excited that he unplugged his microphone, and now he's muted and trying to come back.
I'm back.
He's very excited. Okay,
listen,
got it. He's back. He's back.
Listen, listen, everybody was trying to, Superman is too woke. Superman is too woke. Shut the fuck up, okay? How the fuck you got a superhero that's too fucking woke? Okay, shut the fuck up. He did it. Now, back to how to start this conversation. All right, listen, here's what we want to do. All right, and we're back now,
and we're back.
What I would like to say, I'm seeing you in a whole new way. I almost put the camera down. You would have saw a whole different version of me. But that's not new. But
the
go stream
version.
Yeah, the Go Stream Extortion by Marcus J. Destin. So I feel you look like Drake. That was crazy. The duck face. That's what he does.
He's gonna come for me. Kendrick's gonna come for me. That's a white Drake. Get him. It's gonna happen.
You make it fast. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. Okay.
Don't be distracted.
Where do we start? Where do I want to start with this conversation? Let me start here. What were expectations before walking? We have consumed 4 whole Superman movies across decades, across time itself. Okay. And we've seen a lot of iterations of Big Blue, and we've seen a lot of different stories and a lot of different directorial takes. Outside of the marketing and outside of the world that we currently live in, where, you know, people have their own perceptions of this hero, what were your perceptions now that you've consumed all those movies prior to this? Now, what were you thinking before you even walked into the theater?
Yeah. I thought about this because Mason actually asked me this when we were hanging out before we got to the movie. So, and I'm actually really grateful that we watched the other ones, because the thing that I sort of noticed that we talked about was, you know, Christopher Reeve brought so much to that character, and he brought such a wide breadth. Like, he did a great job of balancing that Clark Kent, that Kal-El. Like, he did a great job of balancing both. Superman Returns, we got a little bit more of a to borrow Brian's language, a hulking Gollum that didn't really have a whole lot of like development as far as a character is concerned. And Zack Snyder's it leaned a little bit more power exploration, and it leaned a little bit more Cal, but we didn't see a lot of the Clark Kent side of things, as we sort of discussed a little bit. So go back and listen to those. So I think for me, what I was really looking for is I was looking for balance. Like, I was looking for something that would be a return to the Christopher Reeve character piece of like seeing some of the inner workings and the thoughts and the motivation and some of that behind it all. But then also at the same time, establishing and sort of understanding what this version of Superman will be able to do powers wise and like that side of things. So that was what I was really looking for in terms of the movie, was really just like balance. I wanted to get back to a more even-keeled storytelling of this particular character, who he was, his motivations, but also some of the more unique elements that makes him such an iconic figure comic book wise. So, Brian?
Man, I think the expectations for this were, for me, they were pretty high, because it feels like this was basically the Star Wars, not to make it always about Star Wars, but to me, the comparative movie is Star Wars Episode 7, where this not only needs to be a fresh start, it needs to be familiar. It also kind of needs to be an apology. And having all 3 of those things in the same movie is really hard. J.J. Abrams took the easiest, most basic route and was like, okay, we're just going to rehash episode 4, but like introduce you to some new concepts and characters along the way.
Mhm.
And it worked. James Gunn took the hard way with this movie.
Mhm.
And he not only had the expectation to like, is it going to be as good as the Christopher Reeves movies? Is it going to be better than the Brandon Routh movie? Is it going to be tonally different than Man of Steel? And so
Mhm.
I feel like with all those expectations, putting all that pressure on it, and also knowing there's a fourth dimension here that if this movie doesn't do well, none of the other DC Studios movies get made, probably, or they don't get the same support. Like it's
Mhm.
all,
Yeah.
it's all on this. It's all on Superman's shoulders,
Couldn't agree more.
and trying to understand who is Superman as a character today in this new universe. So those were my expectations going in, and the short answer is that they were all met.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this movie. As a film as a whole, I feel like there's a lot to talk about, but Superman as a character met and exceeded my expectations.
Brian, can I add one thing to yours that I think
Absolutely.
is I want to boost, because I think those are all great points. The other piece that I think is important is you not only have to do Superman, but you have to do right by one of, if not his most iconic villain and nemesis, which
Yes.
is Lex Luthor on the same side. And
Yes.
I want to call that out because of Superman Returns.
Yes.
Like, you can't let it turn into either one's story.
Mhm.
You have to keep it, again, a theme with my expectation, balance. Like, you have to have a good push and pull between the both of them,
Yeah.
or otherwise it just doesn't feel quite right. So like,
Sure.
and we do get into Superman Returns territory. So I do think it's important to note that, like, in addition, you got to be able to tell that side of it too, or otherwise
Yeah.
some of the other motivational things that happen in the movie, they don't necessarily work.
Absolutely.
So I might ask this question next then too, just because I kind of like the direction that this is going bit by bit.
Mhm.
First
Well,
five.
Well, before you ask yours, what were your expectations?
So I think that one problem watching a movie and not watching it from we're going to review this movie podcast
As a
perspective.
challenge. Yeah.
And so I wanted to go into it while also I think I was almost looking for the cracks because I am a Superman fan and I felt the need to overcompensate by trying to not just enjoy it right off the rip.
Sure.
And although I'm a fan of James Gunn, he's in my top 5 directors. Superman is my favorite character. All of the people in this are like good actors and actresses, and those that I know and those that I don't. Like, I'm excited to meet it. These were all true expectations as a fan, but I felt like I had to put that on the back burner and started looking for flaws, right? And not to compare, and this is kind of fucked up, but after watching Jurassic Park, having those same fears of another like reboot or return franchise and being I hope that they don't have those same moments, right? Like score, dialogue for me. Apparently, but Jurassic Park is making a shit ton of money. They don't give a fuck about Marcus J. Destin's opinion, right?
They do not.
Neither does ScarJo, because she's like making all this fucking money in the world. All that being said, I think that was my fear. And Brian's point, everything Doug and Brian are both saying it right, but Brian's point about you have to get this right, we keep talking about that. This is your biggest hero in WB, one of your bigger franchises. The investment in this, you gotta get it back. Let's assume it's $300 million for this movie to take just to promote it and get it out there. You're introducing new people, new characters, and your first movie to kick off your universe is with your biggest hero. And you're not telling an origin story from the beginning. You're trying to tell something new with characters surrounding him. That is a heavy task going into it. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who you are, right? You did Guardians of the Galaxy. And James Gunn said this, right? He said that like he saw in David Cornsweet what he saw in Chris Pratt when Chris Pratt tried out for Guardians of the Galaxy, of like, this is a next superstar and people just don't know it yet, but this guy is going to be a superstar. I believe that, right? I thoroughly believe that. I was just worried that I was going to over critique it or like it too much and not give it a fair swing and just like, is this a good movie at its baseline?
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I get the same way, like about like when the Batman came out, I wanted to see things that were going to take me out of it. I also kind of use this analogy of like the first time I went to Disneyland, like I didn't want them to be right. Like I didn't want to be like, oh, you did like I don't want to enjoy this. I don't want to feel like a kid again. I want to see this for what it is, which is like a corporate money grab. But I remember being there and getting there and going like, yeah, fuck, they pulled it off. Like this is amazing. Like I love this. I love this feeling. This is great. Like, and so that is the same equivalent of like I am in this movie going, I really don't want to. I want to find something that doesn't work. Yeah. But man, it is fucking tough. Yeah. Fun fact about David Cornsweet, he almost played Adam Warlock.
Oh, interesting.
You know who else almost played Adam Warlock? Aaron Pierre.
Rush? Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that, Brian.
Brian auditioned and everything.
I was only rumored to be Dr. Doom. No.
Did they paint you gold, Brian? No.
He did that himself. Because he was like, I know the character. He had Maggie airbrush him before he got there.
Brian, I mean, nobody else was in the room except one person with like a bucket of paint. He was like, "You have to do this." Well, I didn't see anybody else do this.
Strange.
Yeah. It's like Deadpool. Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, that Taylor keeps grabbing my butt. You might want to go."
Yeah, someone's line, and I don't know what's going on.
Weird. I get it.
I want to make this point and then go to my next question. To your point about Adam Warlock, you definitely saw a lot of James Gunn testing his Superman stuff, the shots in the last Guardians of the Galaxy before you get here, because the twirl, the flying, the right in your face camera shot that everybody critiqued about, like how it looks. It was that final scene with Adam Warlock flying around, or maybe that's the beginning scene. I can't remember. It's been a while.
I think it was the start.
It was the starting scene, right? Because that's where what's his name?
Where they all meet.
Yeah, that's where they meet. You see a lot of that in there. And now that I see that was like testing ground for like, because I kept asking myself, why is Adam Warlock in this movie? I don't think that James Gunn just did that for Superman, but it's a good testing ground for what you want that to be to me.
Well, I think that goes to like director styles, right? Like I think he found something a way to tell that part of it that he liked, and so he just stuck with it. I don't even think it was like an intentional let me practice this because I'll eventually do Superman. I think it's he loved how it looked when he did Adam Warlock, that he
so
was
let me do it here.
Fuck it. I mean, why try to do something different? This worked really well, and I liked how it turned out. So
can we dovetail this into how this movie looks? Because I think something that stands out.
I was actually about to say that.
About this movie is that it is not afraid to go full comic book, and that is something I really, really enjoyed about this. I'm gonna mess up the country name, the Baravian Hammer. The robot that we meet, that we learn to find out is Ultraman, that we learn to find out is a clone of Superman. There's three reveals here. The robot design is not, I feel like it's something I'd see in a Disney movie. But it's flying around with Superman. I keep calling it the negative zone, but the pocket dimension that Lex Luthor creates, it is so simplistic in design, yet it takes up so much space in this kind of void, like mesh of an idea that it's all consuming. And then finally Metropolis itself, everything's bright and you can see what's happening. And I see that in stark contrast to some of the other Marvel movies where stuff is happening so fast that you can't really fully understand what's going on. Transformers is the worst offender of this by far, where it's like, I just feel like I'm seeing two junkyards like tumble down a hill. I don't really understand what's happening. I understood when Superman was punching a dude and when another dude was punching Superman. So that was just really
two junkyards down a hill.
Two junkyards down a hill.
I mean, because Transformers 2 is
that.
Yes, it is. It is.
And to that point, when you look at Man of Steel's Metropolis, and when you look at Superman Returns Metropolis, they both feel completely different. The tempo of the city feels different. Like Man of Steel Superman Returns almost wanted you to feel like the hustle and the bustle of Metropolis a little bit, like 70s. I don't know. It's just, it felt different, but you don't get to see it.
You never get a sense of the layout or scope of it.
Right.
Because it's so Metropolis in the previous iterations was so compartmentalized. Like it was so like we're only gonna hang out. Like Man of Steel felt like you were only hanging out in a 6x6 block radius of the Daily Planet, and that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But what I appreciate about this iteration is we see the layout of the city. I mean, that scene where they're fighting the alien, like the kaiju alien that gets big. I mean, that gives you incredible scope and understanding of this is kind of how big the city is, because you're right there seeing it, not up close in the fights, but we're getting a zoom out and sort of a perspective of it. Same thing when Lois and Clark are having their moment and Green Lantern is hitting the eyeball thing with a bat in the background.
Hilarious.
Like you get
Hilarious.
all of this, you get a lot of size and scope and understanding of this is kind of the way, the breadth that this whole city looks like and is laid out in, which is it takes a little set. What I think is it's, and this is I think this is a hallmark of James Gunn, is for others, it seems like that detail doesn't matter. But for him, he's like, no. Like, this is the world they're going to be in. The audience needs to have some concept of how grandiose it is, or how small it is, in order to be able to really feel like they can be engulfed into the story. So I think the way that was, I mean, it's just well done.
Yes.
Yeah. I think back to the point about the giant eyeball in the space, because my next question is kind of pertaining to this, but not to that point. I think it's important that we have scenes like that with the eyeball. Lois and Superman or Clark are having this conversation while a fight is happening in the background. I want to tie this to two different points. My first point being, kudos to James Gunn and kudos to this entire team for not being able to, they were able to keep this thing a secret, right? Because when this image was first revealed, it looks like there's something happening in the back, some type of chaos. You could have assumed that this was the main threat. I think I said that's the main threat outside. Something is looming over the city, and
I think
he's
you're
got
right.
to figure out how this thing is to go.
Yeah.
It turns out everything that they showed us in the trailer it threw us off of what the actual plot was.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Pocket Universe was not in my bingo card.
No.
For Superman.
Nope.
I don't know. And it's like an animated, everybody's saying it. It's like an animated version of the old animated Superman TV show. Like that is what it's supposed to feel like. Superheroes fighting in the back casually. Clark's like, yeah, they got it. I'm looking for my dog right now because that's what's most important to me.
Yeah.
And that was point number one. Anything for that before I ask my question?
No, I think again, this is the part of that balance that I appreciated of like, we're not seeing Boy Scout. We're not seeing 110% Boy Scout Superman. He always has to respond. He's the only one that can respond. We're seeing a moment where he's able to say, like, no, he's fine. Like they've got it. I'm trying to deal with a personal crisis right now. And that you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I appreciate that other side to it, because it's not a side we usually get.
Yeah. And I think the thing I want to talk about with this scene, and for those that are watching the live cast, I've pulled up the exact scene we're talking about, and you have Lois and Clark looking at each other longingly, while I'm pretty sure this is Starro, by the way. I'm gonna call, I don't know if this is confirmed, but it felt like a Starro type situation. And they're having, I think the idea of the contrast of them having this super serious conversation, because this is after when Lex says, like, hey, actually Superman has the secret headquarters in the North Pole, and he has a message from his parents telling him to take over the world and like get harems of women to spread Kryptonian genes, like, which is super unhinged, by the way, for a PG-13 movie. Can I just say that out loud?
Oh, there's some other shit in here too.
Oh, I mean, and rule over them as people. I'm paraphrasing here. And Rachel Brosnan, I feel like this is where I knew she was perfectly cast to be Lois. Like one of the moments, because it's this moment of like, yeah, everybody hates you. Like, are you okay? Like, I know you're not this person. She doesn't need to be convinced. Like, Lois understands. And I think the best part about this is that James Gunn shows the world building instead of telling you about it. Like, you understand Green Lantern, Hot Girl, and Mr. Terrific are fighting the giant purple circle alien in Metropolis.
Giant
yeah, this giant retina. Thank you. They're fighting this giant retina while they have this very important relational and global conversation. And that idea of like, nah, they've got it. Showing that Superman doesn't engage in every battle, I feel like, is more character development for Superman than we've got in the past, like, in a while. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Like, and James Gunn does such a good job showing it rather than telling it. And that's why I wanted to like really stay on this moment, because I feel like in any other movie, we would be having this conversation where we're trying to convince Lois, like, no, Lois, I am good, and like list all the reasons, but like that's not what it is. That's not Superman. We know Superman is good. So does Lois. And it's all encapsulated in this beautiful scene where, to me, at the end, I was like, now kiss, please. Like, and just move their heads together. So anyway, that's why I wanted to stay on that before we move on to our next point.
Brian, can I piggyback off of that for a minute?
Please.
Because I think the other side of it that showed me that this was a good casting, and it also shows me how good of a writer James Gunn is, because yes, to all the things you just said, of he understands that she knows that Superman is good, and you know, all of those things, but he also understands that Lois is her own person. And if she feels like she needs to push back, she does. That scene where she's interviewing him towards the front of the movie, that is, Lois is not some weak party to the big, strong man. She is going to push back and say, yeah, I know you're good, but this interview needs to answer the questions that everybody's thinking about. And I appreciate that we see some dynamic to their relationship, because the previous ways in which that Lois and Clark and Superman are portrayed is they have a perfect relationship. I love that there was like, she has this moment where out loud she says, yeah, I wasn't so sure about it. Like, she says that to Mr. Terrific, and he's like, I don't give a shit. But she's sitting in the back of like the Terrific vehicle, and she's like, yeah, we're just seeing each other. I don't even know what this is. Like, that to me, that level of doubt is so much more character depth, and it makes the payoff when she gets to the farm so much better. It's those subtle things that make the payoff. You're setting up the pins so you can bowl a strike later, and that takes time and intentional effort on the writing side.
And James Gunn doesn't feel like it's setting up pins. It actually feels like you're playing the game. And
yes, 100%.
And in the back, he's like, actually, I'm doing more. There's more pins for you to knock.
You think this is bowling? This is fucking Cracker Jacks, bitch.
Yeah.
I can't have it be a serious moment all the time. Like,
I love it. The food analogies are getting different tonight.
Guys, we were getting like really serious, and we were talking about like writing, and so I was like, we gotta take this down. Let's dumb this down a little bit.
That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Marcus, what do you got?
I think I'll scratch
the opposite of a great white hope. A great black hope?
I'm not sure what you mean.
That's what I was going to call you.
You tell me. You tell me.
Big Texas.
I don't.
Doug
now I have to pivot. Yeah. Now I got to pivot.
I'm with you,
he
man.
gets to leave. That's white privilege, everybody. He gets to leave. I gotta clean it up. That's
okay,
what
Doug's back. Doug's back. I think you had a question for us.
You did have a question for us.
Yeah. So I think I'll forget that question. Because we kind of moved past it. But to everybody's point, one of the things that we talk about here is like trusting your audience, right? And what this movie did differently was the opening credits, open shot, Antarctica. There are words on the screen, and it does the breakdown of the timeline of this DCU, which answers a lot of questions of like, number one, why is this chapter 1? James Gunn announced this as Gods and Monsters. Okay. And it is announced in that first, in the very first line, it says, 300 centuries ago, not 30 years ago, not 3 weeks ago. We're talking 300 centuries ago. Metahumans have existed and are here and are actively a part of this world.
Yes.
And it talks about how long Clark's been Superman, and that also ties into the Lois and Clark relationship because I think he says 3 years ago we went on a date, or did he say 3 months ago while he was cooking?
He said 3 months.
Oh,
He might have
okay.
said 3 months
I missed
ago.
that.
I think it was
I
3
missed
months.
that.
Yeah, it felt short because he revealed himself as Superman 3 years ago, but 3 months ago him and Lois, which means that he didn't waste any time. He's been Superman for a while. Lois knew that, but he must have just revealed himself as Superman to her. Anyway, all of that to say, they didn't reintroduce all of these concepts and things that, like, how does Lois find out that he's Superman? Or how does this thing interact with this thing? No, people are in suits and super suits. Even Guy Gardner says, oh, I know so you know what the identity of Superman is. You know that he's Clark. She's like, how the fuck do you know that? Well, we're of the same cloth. And that type of language just kind of says, like, yeah, they are heroes that no other heroes. They've probably been heroes longer than Superman has been one, but now that he showed up, they called him the most powerful metahuman ever in existence. So I think that timeline and that wording is important because everything that y'all are saying says, trust the audience. You gave it to them.
100%.
We gave you the information that you needed to go, so you don't have to ask, well, where is everybody else at, and what is this happening here, and what does this mean? And if Superman's existed for 3 years, you can make your own assumptions as to the other heroes, but that did a lot of the heavy lifting and allowed this story to be its own thing.
To breathe,
just to breathe and be its own thing.
We talk like you hear about this like with you talk about this like I swear to God this is related, but we talk about this like with kids, and you're like when you're coaching them how to learn a new sport, you like, or as they get older, you say things like, remember, baseball's just a game, just get up there and have fun. Because when you're constantly thinking about like your swing mechanics and your catch mechanics and your throw mechanics, like all that shit breaks down and you make mistakes. And I think that same idea in adage can be true for when you make a movie. When you are constantly feeling like you have to operate in the rules that you've created, and can he do this because of ... You get boxed into this thing, and then you end up getting somewhere to the end where you're like, well, fuck, this doesn't work because I'm going to have to break that rule in order for the story to work. And you have to do this thing. And what I love about that opening thing, and Marcus, I know we talked about this a little bit about how yesterday I wasn't 100% on board, over the course of the past day or so, like that I've reflected, that text at the open gives him the freedom to say, I can make this whatever the fuck I want it to be. Like, like you said, it opens up and it lets him just relax and remember that this is a movie and we're supposed to have it be fun and enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like it lets him breathe and relax and just enjoy the game.
Well, it's the opposite of the MCU, analogies. Right? Because
he
said that, right? He said every movie, the two rules are every movie will feel different, right? Every movie will be like a comic book. It'll have its own vibe, its own thing, and it'll be like something you can watch individually. And the other one was it just has to have a script. You can't go into it half-assed. Which is what we heard from the MCU a lot, which was like, hey, they bought me in and I couldn't even read the script, or it wasn't done, and we only had a fight scene. It buried itself or kind of cornered itself with those rules that Doug is talking about as well.
And just as a call out, Spider-Man No Way Home, it's a miracle that movie is as good as it is because there was no script. They were rewriting the script as they were filming. And it's a direct contrast to this film, where I feel like I think where it excels is that it not only trusts its audience, which is one of the maxims of this podcast, but it also, when you're talking about giving it that space to breathe, Doug, it gives you that flexibility to be like, I'm not going to introduce Green Lantern to you. Like, I'm not going to tell you what his deal is. Look, there's a guy with a bad haircut and he can make stuff out of green light. Here's Hawk Girl.
Brian, take it away, Marcus. No, I don't want to take it. I want you to keep it. But to your point, Green Lantern says, hey, are you an evil alien? Because I'm a part of this. You are the type of alien I'm supposed to be because I was recruited I took an oath. That's all you fucking needed for the fans that know and those that don't of what the fuck is a Green Lantern. Sorry, Brad.
Exactly. No. I think that's a really good point because I didn't notice that as a huge Green Lantern fan. I didn't even think about it from a new fan's perspective. But yeah, if you're a new fan and this guy's like, I took a vow to make sure the bad aliens don't hurt people, that's all you need. But it doesn't feel like homework and it doesn't feel like exposition I think Nathan Fillion has turned out to be a perfect fit for the asshole that Guy Gardner is.
I was
By the
worried.
way, I don't like Guy Gardner. This is not a safe space for his fans. I do not like him. I think he's a jerk. I think he's the worst Green Lantern. He's actually a Red Lantern.
I think we called him a chud at one point in time.
He is a classified A-type chud. He's the worst. And I think he is a great character in this film to show how terrible he is and how good Superman is and how other Green Lanterns are far superior to what he is. Nikki, I'm going to tell you what this man did
Oh,
and what he
shit. Oh.
didn't do. Guy Gardner in the comics, he is a Marine, and Hal Jordan is an Air Force pilot. Hal Jordan's the first Green Lantern, and he's like, some stuff happens. He turns into a ghost. Don't worry about it. Then we move on to Guy Gardner. And he's this Marine, and they're like, we choose people with strong willpower. But here's the thing about Guy, Nikki, is that he didn't go to therapy. And so he didn't actually think about how his actions impact others. So he gets this ring with unimaginable power, and it can make constructs of anything you can imagine. And he is designated to secure Sector 2184. That's where Earth is. That's like the area Earth is in. There's other planets. Don't worry about it. Anyway, Guy tries his best. All right, he does his best, but at the end of the day, he is this meathead chud who looks at everything with a green hammer. Okay, he's good in a pinch, but he is not the guy that you want to call for an interstellar de-escalation. Let's just put it that way. Long story short, he actually sheds the Green Lantern, and he turns out he's full of rage and anger, and he turns into a Red Lantern, and there's a whole core of Red Lanterns, and they're fueled by anger. That's another movie. Anyway, I don't like Guy Gardner. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh my God. Brian, that was
Bourbon Brian, everybody.
Brian, everybody. Oh my God, that was my favorite. I think our shirt is
Holding the Earth is so fucking 2184. Actually, yeah, right in there. Yeah.
I think the shirt that is going to say "Trust your audience" on the front and "Don't worry about it" on the back. Because there's other planets. Don't worry about it.
Brian,
or
clip
there's
it.
Hal Jordan. He turns into a ghost. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We'll talk. Or hashtag comics. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Brian,
yeah.
You got to clip that. I need that clip, my boy. I gotta have it in my phone. ASAP.
I'll do my best. He's my most hated.
I need that whole
Lantern.
thing. I need that whole thing, man.
That guy.
But to this point, I was worried about Nathan Fillion playing.
I get it.
So next point, there's a lot of characters in this, right? I was really worried about Nathan playing this role because I know James Gunn, number one, James Gunn, you got a hell of an eye, my boy. I think we have the same taste in a lot of things, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay,
we most certainly because do have a lot of similar tastes and similar things.
We do. You have a eye and a respect for a lot of the things that I have an eye and a respect for, and an appreciation, and you take delicate care not just to cast off of one thing, but to develop it and give it some substance behind it. And I have a major respect for that, right? So shout out.
Anyone can hang pretty artwork up on the wall,
but how do
you create a whole whole gallery?
Yeah, you create something with substance that you can pass down to your children, right? It reverberates in the investment. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people in this movie. And
oh my gosh.
I was a lot of people that I'm worried about, right? A lot of people that I also wanted to see more of, right? I don't want to just act like everything was great. There's certain people I want to see more of. Nathan playing Green Lantern, I was like, this guy's a little bit older, okay? And I didn't know how that was going to go. How do you have a Mr. Terrific? You have this black hero who is like not very well known to a lot of people if you don't
he is not
watch. You know, he's like, in the comic book world, he's number 3 in smartest people, intelligence-wise, IQ-wise, after Lex and Bruce. It's Mr. Terrific. But when it comes to innovation and technology, he is number 1, right? That is an interesting and hard and unique character to bring to life in this specific movie. Yes, Doug.
I didn't know who Mr. Terrific was until I read Final Crisis.
That is okay. That is
but
okay.
I have a more embarrassing admission.
That's the point, Marcus, I think you're making of like, he both is and isn't a deep dive.
Yeah. Name
I didn't.
before Brian goes to this point. Name
Go
the
ahead.
Guardians of the Galaxy character that he did the same thing with.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
Mantis to a
I'm gonna
certain
say
extent.
Nebula.
I was thinking Nebula. I was also thinking Drax.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Okay.
a character that he gave teeth to that was like, yes, this is a known character, but to make it
Mhm.
something where you'll be a memorable character when the movie is over and one of the top 3 people that they talk about in this, that's different. Sorry, Brian.
You know what? You're so right. Nebula becomes the one of the center points of Endgame, and she is a third tier character even in Guardians. You make a
Yep.
great point, Marcus. Well
Mhm.
said.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. No,
Well done.
I'm handing it off to you, Brian, because you had a point you wanted to make.
Look, I didn't know about Mr. Terrific until the Arrow CW TV series, and I accept this. I need to do
Oof.
better.
That's okay,
And
Brian.
I'm
roll.
here and I'm listening. But yeah, I did find out about him, but I would have rather read about him in Final Crisis.
But that's tiptoeing on corporate response of we hear you, we heal with you, we're going to do better. Like that is the Brian was so close to that.
That is what
oil-
I was parodying. Yes.
There
Like, he
was a
so close
world.
to that oil spill language.
There was a world where Arrow used to be a great place for you to introduce characters like that. And the first 2 to 3 seasons maybe of Arrow would have been a great time for you to cast a Green Lantern or a Mr. Terrific or all of these unique and niche heroes that you get, but it fled far away from that. What James did here, though, was you have multiple smart people in this movie, right? Superman is no dummy. There's some science in this motherfucker that you also got to like figure out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters to balance. How do you do that well? How do you spotlight who is like of importance outside of Superman and Lois? Who was it for y'all that you feel like stood out and stole the show?
Ooh.
Genuine moment. And I'm not just saying this because he's my bald friend, but I do genuinely believe that there was a moment, there were flashes where Nicholas Holt's portrayal of Lex made me genuinely wonder whether or not Superman was going to win.
Yeah.
Like
I have something I want to say about Lex Luthor later, but I'm going to answer your question. Go ahead, Doug.
But I was going to say, like, because this is how it works, that his crookedness often is his own. He's his own Achilles heel. Like his level of greed and his desire for power is so strong that he's eventually going to make a mistake and someone's going to learn about it. And then it's all going to come out. Like he's a big, like, house of cards. You pull one and they all crumble. But I thought Nicholas Holt did an outstanding job as Lex Luthor.
I'm gonna come back to that point because I want Brian to make his. I'm gonna
you're
go
good.
on my soapbox after.
No, I do think we're going to dedicate a solid 5 to 10 minutes about Lex Luthor, and I'm excited for it, and Nicholas Holt's portrayal. I think there were 2 characters that stole the show for me. 3 if I'm including Rachel Brosnan, but I feel like we've talked about her, so she stole the show for me.
One of them's Kat Kane, we know.
Cat Grant had like 2 minutes of screen time for as much as she got hyped in this movie, which I thought was
very important.
Don't, Brian, please keep going. Please.
I'm gonna keep going. The sheriff abides. And so look, like I've mentioned, I'm not the biggest fan of Guy Gardner. However, as a Green Lantern fan, it was amazing to see a Green Lantern in this movie because I need you all to know this character's been in the doghouse for 14 years because of one Ryan Reynolds movie, and it wasn't his fault. So it was just really nice to see Green Lantern alive and kicking. Maybe we'll get Kyle to replace him. I don't know, man. Anyway, and then the other person that I feel like really stole the show, it was Mr. Terrific by a country mile to me. I think the second act of Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane playing detective was a highlight of the movie. To me, it's probably my favorite part of the movie. Looking back, it is. I mean, the entire sequence of him when he's taking out the beach base with the
Raptors and Lexus.
Yeah. Raptors and the crew. Thank you for giving me those words, Marcus. And that I feel like was really well done, and it established so well. And again, James Gunn understands the medium. He showed people. He didn't tell people how awesome Mr. Terrific was.
Yeah.
Well, agreed.
All right. Here's what I got. Okay, Nikki, we didn't get no popcorn bucket because they was out of the cups. They did have a dog. They were out of the $20. It was like the souvenir Fortress of Solitude cup, but they had a dog bowl at the movie theater with crypto on it for $20.
But it was still a dog bowl.
It was just a dog bowl. Like,
but it was like you could eat your popcorn out of it.
Yeah, like it was a
Marcus
whole thing.
And I both kind of were like, it's a dog. Like even the guy serving us popcorn at the Cinemark was like, "Yeah, you want to eat your popcorn out of a dog bowl?"
Yeah,
LOL. Like
Brian, we saw
hilarious.
somebody walk out with that
we did.
Galactus head of the theater.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
In like three different pieces. Yep.
Eating out of a dog bowl's not my particular kink.
Well,
you know, if
I'm
it's
here
yours,
to tell
go nuts.
people the Superman newspaper box popcorn bucket is sold out on AMC.com. I'm here to tell you
it's priced so well. It's priced at a really good point where you can. It's accessible to people. Yeah, that's not bad.
Accessible. Yeah, no, it's not bad. Oh, look, it opens up like a newspaper stand. Oh, yeah, I get it. I get it now. I get it.
So, okay, here's my Nikki said kinky. Wow, I love it. Yeah, it's the little things. Okay, here's my people. Because there's a lot to talk about. We need to get to the main plot. My people that sold the show. David Cornsweet. That motherfucker is Superman all day long.
I think he might be Superman.
He might actually be Superman. I loved his iteration of Clark Kent too, and the cockiness of Clark and Superman. Superman's like, I'm doing the right thing because I can. Clark was like, I'm interviewing Superman because, that's how I get down. I got these connections. I don't think that has happened before where Clark has been the one to interview himself, because it's usually portrayed that Clark is too modest to do something like that. And Lois lays the groundwork, which comes back from a dialogue that Lex dropped where she's like, if you keep interviewing yourself, people are going to put two and two together. Lex says, what if I go get that journalist that's Lex killed somebody in this fucking movie. Let's just put that out.
Straight in the head.
He Russian roulette's an innocent man. It is bad.
That fed Superman one time. The one that helped him in the beginning, a callback. And it's not one of those, it turns out it was just a chameleon or a dummy. No. He's like dead. He shoots him in the head in front of Superman and other people.
It's
like
over.
Gone.
Yeah, yes, I see in the comments, for real, yes.
Lex
Luthor shoots a man in the head in a PG-13 movie in front of Superman, and Superman cannot save him. That happens in this movie.
And then makes a joke about it.
It's a jettison point of like what inspires Superman and
Metamorpho.
I keep thinking Mephisto. Thank you. Metamorpho.
No, you're fine, man. I got you.
Like Mephisto, Metamorpho.
Different series.
Lex then says, like, what if I go get that journalist that's always interviewing you, the one that you like so much? I think everybody thought he was going to say Lois Lane. And he says, yeah, I'm going to go get that Clark Kent. It's like, oh, fuck, he still doesn't know that he's Clark Kent. Like the smartest guy in the world, because they got hypno glasses, which they also throw that motherfucker in there too. But I think he does that. Rachel Brosnahan, incredible Lois Lane. Probably my favorite Lois Lane from this point on.
Oh, wow. Even the Christopher Reeve movies.
Because she embodies some of that same spirit, but it's very much 52 Comics, new comic Lois, where she's an actual journalist detective. You see her put the pieces together. You see her, I need to find a way and use her connections. Big Dick Jimmy, who has just got all these connections and shit like that. I don't know what the fuck is going on. That was like crazy. I was not expecting that at all, for Jimmy to be the heartthrob of fine ass women.
And this, my sub point here is that this is how James kind of understands how to make a good movie with all these characters, because Jimmy Olsen is usually this character who is sidebarred, and him pulling all these 10s as a certified maybe 4 on a good day. Damn. Incredible comedy.
You don't need to come at Jimmy that hard there, Brad.
I thought he was a good looking guy.
I mean, like, he's fine. I mean, but like he knows. Like, he knows. If we had Jimmy Olsen on this podcast, he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm probably a 4," and he's pulling straight 10s
No,
every
Brian,
day.
I don't
he
think so,
knows
Brian.
he
Brian, I
knows
don't
he's
think
an
so.
8, Brian. He knows
no.
he's an 8.
And you know why I know that? I like the way what they did with Jimmy, and what makes him a good journalist is his connections. The pictures that he has with other women in the photograph are fine. He has one of the pictures in the photography is like him with these two beautiful women.
Mhm.
Jimmy knows that. He knows that so much that he didn't want to talk to Eve Tessmacher, who is fine as hell, but her name in his phone is Mutant Toes, and he's annoyed and doesn't want to hang out with her.
That was incredible.
But he makes that sacrifice of hanging for just a weekend. She didn't even want to get married.
Yeah,
just a weekend. And he's like, fuck, I gotta actually do this to save the world. I like that small piece because it anchors a character in a different way. That's not like, oh, we're gonna give you this watch, Jimmy, and whenever you ring it, Superman's gonna save you, your old pal. Like, no, Jimmy's his own character. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I like.
Because and Marcus, to your point, because this could be Spider-Man 3, where there's too much fucking shit going on. Like, and that full disclosure, that's what I was nervous about. When we said that there was going to be Metamorpho, Lex Luthor, Ultraman, the Engineer, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, and then on top of that, fucking like everything else that you have to do in a Superman movie.
Right.
This is on paper a recipe for Spider-Man 3.
Yes,
where you're like, there's too much going on, but you're right. And I think that that's a great point to call out, that you did stuff in such a unique way that everybody is able to carve out their own space that you're not expecting. And so it becomes, it works not by like subtraction, but it works by adding something unique to them that allows them to stand out.
It's that world building that we talked about, because in any scenario, I would ask the question in a TV series or in movies, you slow roll characters like Cat Grant. Jimmy Olsen was a CIA agent in Man of Steel. Like you slow roll, you try to slow roll these characters in, but in this world, Metropolis, the Daily Planet, is a real place. It makes no sense for me not to see the other reporters that are iconic to the Daily Planet, even if they don't have a role. You saw the core 6 when Metropolis is being split by the pocket dimension. They made a point to say, nope, Perry White and this crew of reporters, even the scared sports reporter, they are the ones that are on the ship because they're like the journalists that never worry or fret or try to run from the danger. They are the ones that are like an anchor to the Daily Planet.
Yes.
And they don't show the Daily Planet once. That is a significant like set point for them in that little middle area.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh,
The journalist bullpen, as you might call it.
Yep. Oh wow, getting very technical. Look, I'm not trying to.
Brian, that's who I am.
I'm not trying to get down on Jimmy, but I do think, again, I've already said this on this episode of the podcast, but again, I feel like another director or storyteller would have tried to put in these exposition elements, but instead James Gunn is just like, I'm going to trust my audience. Yep. And Jimmy Olsen's the guy. He's the one getting the information to Lois who can make it actionable. And it's such efficient storytelling. And if you've listened to other episodes of this podcast, you know that I love efficient storytelling. Marcus does too. If you're going to show me a gun at the beginning of the movie,
fuck me and fuck efficient storytelling, I guess. We all know how I feel about it. Fuck it. Take your time. I don't give a shit. You want efficient storytelling? Go the fuck somewhere else. That's how I feel about it. Sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
Man, I choose one example. I choose one example, and this is where we're left. But here we are.
Yeah, take 3 hours for a 2-hour story. I don't give a shit. You know what? Tell me everything. Don't show me a goddamn thing.
Oppenheimer, Doug, he's the biggest fan of it.
You want to know something? 3 hours. I'll watch all the Lord of the Rings twice. That's my kind of fucking story.
He's talking extended editions.
He did. That's real life.
I have.
It is real life. But yeah. Anyway, everything leads into something else, even if it's the side character. Was the point I was trying to make, that if you introduce something at the beginning, you're using it at the end. Anyway, great moment, Doug.
I also do think that there's a theme. I also do think that there is a theme here that James Gunn explores in Superman, of those who are willing to work together and their ability to succeed.
Mhm.
Because if you look at the Daily Planet team, they succeed when Jimmy is doing his part, is feeding a story to Lois, who's helping to put the finishing touches on it, who it then goes to like that whole chestnut there of them working as a unit. Even Superman, to an extent, when he's trying to do things by himself, struggles. But when he understands that other people are going to show up in Baravia the second time through, and he says, this is a team and there's trust here, and I don't need to worry because they're going to be there. Because if you take those teams, right, the people who are on the more protagonist side of things, they're all capable of working together and utilizing their strengths to be successful. Meanwhile, they are working at a team, but that's not the relationship. Lex is commanding and they're working for him, not with him. And so that subtext is woven throughout and is incredibly well done. And I think is a highlight of something that James is good at.
I think I want to your Lex point, because that was throwing me for a loop. There's a lot I want to talk about. And I actually do want to hit this motherfucker. So I want to make time to hit these things. To your point about the team thing, they use interesting language when Lois is figuring it out and connecting the dots about Lex, that she says Lex and he's essentially, the plot point is this, audience, that Lex is a part of the Baravia invasion into Juniper because he has struck the deal with the president to own a piece of the country, and there's oil over there, resources. There's a bunch of shit that he could get. That is the big reveal, that they are working in tandem with each other. The hammer of Baravia, the president is like, we don't know who that hammer is. He doesn't speak for us, but he's working with Lex. Lex is whooping Superman's ass because he has this team of people that have studied Superman's move. He calls out all of these different languages to whoop Superman's ass. That's an essential piece, right? I think that Lois uses this language called Lex's cult that says Lex is going to lead them into a new technological revolution. I couldn't piece together in my brain why all of these people were helping Lex, because it wasn't like, oh yeah, we're just doing it because for shits and giggles. The engineer, the regular people, Otis, all of these people were just signed up and on board to help beat the hero. They released the kaiju. They are actively the ones that are on the beach and going after Lois and Mr. Terrific and protecting the president, protecting the portal that he can jump through and transport themselves through at the pocket dimension. Why are all these people helping Lex? Oh, who also has monkeys on the internet. I think James Gunn is so fucking funny and smart.
I love it.
And that's a point I want to make sure that I make before this is over, because he didn't just throw this shit in there. I think he wrote this as a reflection. He's kind of said this. This is a reflection of the world we live in today. Yes. And he put a Superman who saved a squirrel in this movie, y'all.
I love that.
To save a squirrel and wanted to save the kaiju instead of killing it.
There's two moments where this happens. Like, that is a direct call out of the Snyderverse fucking monkeys that are going around destroying and tearing shit down. Those hashtags, and I don't mean that in like a super like 1950s way. I mean that like they were monkeys in the movie. That is a direct call out of every internet troll, because it's all hashtags.
It is.
And why else would you zoom in on the hashtags the monkeys are writing if you didn't want to try to make the point of like, hey, y'all saying hashtag restore the Snyderverse? Y'all look fucking stupid. Like that is exact. It might not be, I know James likes to be nice and he's like, hey, accepting everybody's pretty punk rock. That's a fucking that's a great bar. Like that's exactly what that is. The second one is at the end in the post-credit scene. Sorry to give everything away here, but I have to jump to it.
Do it.
That Mr. Terrific and Superman are looking at a building that's being put back together. Yeah. And Superman goes, well, it isn't perfect. It was perfect before this got broken, but it's not perfect. And Mr. Terrific has this line where he says, like, what did you want me to do? Do you want me to break it again so we can try to get it perfect the next time? Or do you just want to say, hey, it's fixed, it looks pretty fucking good, and we move on? If that isn't a reflection of, hey, look at the way the status of the DCU was before when I took it over, we can sit here and nitpick and complain and say stuff isn't exactly lined up. Or we can say, hey, maybe, just maybe, it looks pretty fucking good, and then we don't have to break it again.
Well, I think it's good, and it's good that you spin that because a lot of people have been saying that point. I think it's interesting, and I don't know if I agree that that's why he put that part in there.
Oh, probably not. It was probably
But
just
it's
a joke.
but I've seen other reviewers say the same thing, which it might be that might be his shot at like shut the fuck up. I do know that like I love his Superman's reaction. Like he showed how human he was by like, oh golly, like sorry y'all, like I'm sorry, that was really rude of me to like do that.
Great
Mhm.
jerk. Like,
Like yeah, he's like, man, I'm just sorry, I'm such a fucking jerk. Sorry if I ruined your day. Like that is a boy blue moment to
Yeah.
a catastrophic mess that you inherit, and maybe that's what he wants to embody more of. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's a good point.
anyway,
I don't know.
you want to talk about Lex though?
All right, Nicholas Holt. I know that you tried out
Mm.
for Superman. Let me take these off. Listen, I know
All
you
right.
tried out for Superman, and James had put out an interview where I think it was great way that he worded it. I saw it on TikTok. It was like a snippet, and he says he was at a panel and he said that while Nicholas Holt was on screen, auditioning for Superman because they were doing like their chemistry tests and screen tests, like they put them on an actual set and actually made them screen test and recorded them, and they went to go rewatch it. He said that he put his finger up and tried to cover like Nicholas Holt's hair to see what he would look like bald, because he said that while he was trying out for Superman, he said he makes the joke whenever David and him are around. He said, "You're not casting the best actor for the role. You're casting the best person to portray the character for the role." And he said he saw Nicholas Holt and said that he would be a great Lex Luthor, and David Cornsweet would be a great Superman. That the casting is perfect. This was not a secondary prize by any means.
No.
I think at one point I was like, man, you could do Bradley Cooper as Lex Luthor. That would be pretty cool, right? Instead, he plays supposedly is playing Superman's parents. Nicholas Holt he says that Nicholas Holt, James Gunn said this. He said that Nicholas Holt is the better actor at like across the board than David Cornsweet, and he showed his acting chops in this motherfucker. Like that last scene with Lex being in there and he's talking about 1A, and he's talking about how envious he is and how that fuels him, and how I throw up in my mouth when y'all mention the likes of Galileo and these other fucking punks. Like I'm smarter than them. He lays it out for everybody in this fucking room. And I think the chemistry between David Cornsweet, because his response is also good of like, I'm just a good guy that's trying to do his best, and that's what makes me human. But Nicholas Holt, you are a fucking monster. Like that is such a good Lex Luthor and the best depiction I think I've seen since Smallville.
And I'd like to jump in. I think one of the reasons that is the exact case is because James Gunn gave Lex Luthor and Nicholas Holt every single weapon in the arsenal to make a bang right away with Lex. We're not ramping up to anything. We're not having some diabolical scheme. It's a diabolical scheme plus. This man is going to throw you pocket dimensions. He's going to throw that at you. A fake antagonist, the hammer. He's going to throw releasing Superman's parents' message to the masses. He Ultraman, like the engineer. That's 5. That is 5 strategies. Out of the gate in the first Superman movie, Lex Luthor has all of the toys to play with. And I think that this is where the movie shines to me for a certain extent, that you're able to unleash Lex Luthor to his to one of his higher potentials, I think is the best way to say it, because this man is smart. He is smart, and he has so many resources that he's able to do this. I haven't even touched on the fact that he wanted half a country yet. Like, haven't even talked about that yet. And I feel like that is what makes him such a potent villain. And if there's an MCU comparison, this is Thanos meeting the Avengers like in the second phase with 4 out of the 6 stones. They just let him go off, which made him so much more formidable. And I feel like it benefited the story in such a strong way that you're able to see the ferocity of Lex and the power that gives Superman this antagonist and this barrier to overcome that actually feels appropriate for his power scale.
And on top of that, this movie is a big exploration into like the human, like it's the big question is the humanity of Clark and the humanity of Superman, right? Like, in what role that
Yup.
plays. And the one thing that I
Mhm.
think that we did a very good job showing in this movie is humanity is a spectrum of,
Oh yeah.
and human beings have the capacity to do good and evil for very similar reasons. Like, and so what I think is set up particularly well with Lex's monologue at the end is, yeah, he's the smartest guy in the room. Yes, he is unafraid to launch these, 6 to 7 things at
Yeah.
Superman, but it is entirely motivated not for money, not for like any of that, because of fear and envy, which are
Yes.
two essentially pure human emotions. And all you did was say, I looked up and I saw you, and we all felt how powerless we were. And at the same time, I was scared and I was envious that people were trying to compare me to other people, to these gods, and no, there was nothing to compare you to. Like, that is all hyper masculine
Mhm.
insecurity that I think
Mhm.
is so well executed, and I think Nicholas did a great job with. As if we're
They-
friends.
I agree.
I mean, and they balance him well, because at the beginning, how he treats his team is like they are a part of that win. Hey, hey, great job, everybody. You all did a great job. We all did this thing well. You can
Man.
see the moment he starts cracking, because he's like knocking the cups off the table. He throws the pencil at Miss Tessmacher, which like then makes her call Jimmy and send the pictures in to turn them in. Like,
Yeah.
he started to crack and lose control, because Lex is 5 steps ahead this entire movie from when you meet him. He had a clone in his back pocket to get to the Fortress of Solitude. Like,
Yep.
that's how ahead of the curve he was. You need a great actor to balance out, to my transition, David Cornsweet's response of being, his conversation with Lois is like, she's like, you like these corny groups and like you think that's punk rock. That's not punk rock. Like, I'm the punk rock kid that came from this thing. He's like, well, she says, you think everybody's beautiful and you think they're the best thing that's ever created from the moment you meet them, and you trust them right off the bat. Because she has that same conversation with the Justice Gang. That's, oh my God, why does he fucking trust y'all right off the bat? And he says, well, I think that is punk rock.
Yeah.
That is such a fire fucking line to drop.
It is.
And in his conversation with Lex, he says, I'm more human because I get to wake up and do the best I can. I feel fear. I fear all of these things, but I just take it one step at a time and just try to be kind to people. Simple.
Yes.
A simple plot.
And I think that, to me, is like the thesis of the movie, that being kind and like doing good things is a lot easier than you think it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's demonstrated with, to me, that is actually the Baravian, and I cannot remember the other country because it's made up. Johnpur.
It's Johnpur, but you said Baravian, so I was making it like, oh, the Johnpurian way of looking at
I
things.
love it. I love all of it. And
but I also like really long stories, Brian. So fuck me.
Oh
right?
man, one example, and I'm in the doghouse, folks. No, but like, to the point of just doing something that is kind is a lot easier, and seeing the Justice Gang, as they're referred to in this movie, not the Justice League, but the Justice Gang, like, basically be like, yeah, Superman, you're right. We're going to stop this conflict from happening because we don't want people to get hurt. That's just the basic ideal. And having that scene in the third act, I feel like, is just such a uplifting, heartwarming moment that, yeah, like, doing the right thing is a lot easier than we think it is. And that's the thing that Lex Luthor never gets. And that's the part that it really, the whole movie clicked for me.
Yeah, because for Lex, it's about himself, and for Superman, it's about other people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Superman rising, him rising from the dust, saving that woman from the car, the building falling, and when they're all evacuating Metropolis because the city's splitting in half. Like, her looking back and seeing him rise from the dust, like, that is the moment where people saw like their version of hope. That is,
Yeah.
I thought it was an iconic shady moment from Brian. By the way. Yeah.
Man,
Brian does have
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
iconic shady moments.
That was,
Man.
I don't think it was shady. He just said it. I'm with Brian. Hashtag
Well,
I'm with Brian.
you guys can talk about it in your double secret probation chat. So
Only
you all
reason
do
we're in the
whatever
double
you have
secret
to-
probation chat is
you
because
do
he
whatever
won't
you need to
watch
do.
Ironheart.
Just watch Ironheart, and then we can talk about
what I
Ironheart in the
told him,
main
Brian.
chat.
Just saying,
Brian, he
like,
already knows about the spoiler in Ironheart because he's seen the TikToks, but ain't watched the show.
I mean, look,
look, I don't want to
just
take
watch
away
the show,
something
Doug, and
special that's special to the two of you. That would be rude of me, and really disrespectful to like.
Hey,
make
you are
something that
special.
brings you
are
joy.
special to the three of us. Now what?
I like you like
no.
how I'm doing like the classic like narcissist, like
Yeah,
let it make it like
yeah,
let me
yeah.
make it about me.
Super
Like
gaslighting. Super
come on, man.
gaslighting.
I've been dealing with narcissists for a while. I come on. I knew it was a bit.
I'm
You're good.
really good at it. For fakesies in real life. Like after this pod's over, I'm gonna text them both, being like, "Sorry if I made the call too long."
Guys, I
Oh
love
my
you.
God. Oh, no. Not a separate chat being brought. Right. Just
Yep.
exposing, throwing our dirt out there, Nikki.
All right, there's multiple chats.
So with the plot and the story, as we talk about like how everything else unfolds, right? So for everybody that are interested in listening, the pocket dimension splits, right? Superman is held hostage in a prison at Lex Pit in the pocket universe. There is Metamorpho, who is he can turn himself into kryptonite and he's holding Superman hostage. And the plot twist is Superman's Kryptonian parents are painted as evil. His parents in Kansas, which I don't know if I care for their depiction of his parents in Kansas.
I love their depiction.
How did you receive
that
it?
accent for the rest of my life?
Brian, how did you receive? What did you get from that?
When they go to Kansas and like meet his parents, I felt like, I'm gonna be real with you. I that felt like a real family. Like I know that's what acting is, but it wasn't Kevin Costner. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
it wasn't Diane Lane. It felt like actual real people, and I really connected with that scene with Pa Kent and
awesome.
Clark, and he's
That was a
like,
great
"I'm
scene.
just so proud of you," and he starts crying, and like I'm like, "I have sons too. I should tell them how I feel about them."
I was
Like,
sitting
it
next
just
to mine,
was
and
so
I was like,
good.
"Yeah, me
Like,
too."
yeah, I love you, kid. I
Right.
always love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this: Brian, I do see your point. I have a lot of funny jokes to tell about the accent. I even have some things that I'd like to say in the accent, but I'm not gonna
Sure.
because I'm classier
Okay.
than that.
You are.
I do think that even in Smallville, in Superman, in Man of Steel, we always tried to make them into heroes themselves.
Yes.
Like these
yes.
picturesque cookie cutter always has a phrase for when you lose a baseball game type dads. And what I really appreciated was like, I felt like talking to them, like when Clark's talking to them on the phone, I felt like, yeah, there's times where I've heard conversations with my own family and it's felt like that. You know what I mean? Like he did a really good job of making them very relatable. Now, to that respect, there is something about the accent that makes them seem like not intelligent, which I did have a lot of questions on. Like when she's like, "I'll polish your boots for you," or when she keeps calling Pa Kent a big bowl of mush. Like she keeps like those type of things are very much like. But it feels like one of those quirky, like it could be just a part of being from Kansas. Again, I'm not trying to throw shade at Kansas. It could be that that's just how they talk down there. I don't know.
It's James Gunn's interpretation of Kansas,
It's
and
like
I will
a Hollywood elite view of the middle class blue collar family that puts bread on your table all across America. Typical woke bullshit. It goes off the rails.
Oh my gosh. All right, air horns aside, Marcus, what do you think about this?
Ridiculousness.
I feel like back to the opening scroll of the movie.
Sure.
It says that the ship lands with simple right, Nikki. Right. He says that the ship lands to simple farmers. And I think that that simple word has to be. I understand what he's trying to do is like it's easy as 1, 2, 3. It's as easy, it's simple as this. You do right because right is right. It doesn't take that much. If that is what's important to you, you do it. And his father saying, you know, I'm proud of you. And like they don't ask for much. They are just simply good people. I think that can be confused when the opening scene is Ma Kent yelling into a phone in this accent, and you're kind of like, are they drunk or like what's going on? Like maybe you're going too much into simple.
Type of Southern accent that makes them sound kind of dumb,
and it's not. But it's
not like they're trying to be dumb. They've just been raised the way they've been raised, and so it feels a little weird for them to do it.
Marcus, he was gonna work it in this,
but yeah, it's weird.
Wouldn't.
It's weird. Yeah. It's weird. I did
say
it
comes on a little strong.
So. All right, it's strong. It's just strong.
It's a little strong. However, it was believable. Here's the thing. James Gunn gets casting and the visual was completely believable, and I'm with it. It didn't bother me. It added to the movie to me. It didn't take anything away.
Well, and again, Brian, to your point of like he's playing a bigger game, is when your first interaction with Ma and Pa Kent is this like, gee shucks, we from the country type accent.
Yeah.
You don't expect those tender moments between Pa Kent to come later. So you're not really listening, but then you start to hear what he's saying, and he's like, it's not where you come from that makes you who you are, Clark. It's your decisions. It makes you kind of go like, oh, fuck. Like it kind of stops you in your tracks because it's coming from the most unassuming of sources. So you're playing a bigger game of
kind of makes you check yourself a little bit too.
It absolutely, that's exactly what it is. It's it's coming from a but it's still such a great way to say it.
And okay, I'm gonna take a hard. It's a soft right. Marcus, I need to know what you think.
So mad
of the reveal. I feel like it is at this point a reveal that Superman's parents are not on the up and up. And this is a change to the lore. It's a story element I have not experienced in a Superman story. In the movies we've talked about the past 3 weeks, Superman's parents have always been these paragons of good. So what was your experience with the reveal that Superman's parents were maybe not that?
My Adventures with Superman, the animated version that's out on Max, kind of tells a similar story where the message that Clark gets from his dad is in a different language. And it's him, and when they dissect the language or part of it, it's we're coming for war. Like Krypton was coming to Earth for war, which is what Amanda Waller and Lois's dad, General Lane, were preparing for when they gave the superheroes these powers, right? The suits, the technology was because they were preparing for war. They got that message. I think that it's a very interesting take that plays off well to the end credit of like, hey, do you want to play the message from your parents? Yes. And it turns out to be his earthly parents. I think that talks about the balance of Clark and Superman because he's only 3 years in. That's the thing I think I have to remind myself is this is a fresh Superman, right? And so you're right. This isn't some handsome set of parents that are like, oh God, that's that sexy ass Jonathan and Martha Kent. Like whatever they say, I'm locked in. No, like people's parents can look like regular people. You know what I mean? Like, so it's shocking. And I think that we will get more of that story with Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I think that it will pick up exactly from where because she pops up at the end of this movie to grab Crypto, and she's wearing the trench coat over her suit. She's been partying on Red Sun Planet so that she can get drunk, and that's the same story as the comics, right? She came to pick up Crypto because Crypto is her dog. That's why Crypto ain't really listening to Superman like that,
right?
I hope that we explore more of that message and what was the actual intent, because Kara actually has more history with Krypton than Superman does, because she comes at a later age.
Man, I gotta tell you, I feel like Supergirl comes in at the end of the movie, gets the dog, says hi to Clark, and leaves. Like she's just
called him a bitch.
Calls him a bitch. And like it's like she picks up her car keys like she's at a pit stop. Millie Alcock her presence in that moment, I was like, I want to know about Supergirl immediately, because there's so, like, James Gunn did such a good job being like, there's a whole story here and you're not ready for it. And I thought that was really well done. I know that a lot of people have talked about her work on the Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. She's done great work there. I watched her on Sirens on Netflix. A lot of great things have been said about her work. So I'm so curious what the Supergirl story is going to be. And I'm interested in it because of this movie. If you're talking to me about a party girl Supergirl story, I want to see that. I think that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing is it's like, everything can be taken out of context too.
Yes.
You're asking, this is one moment where it's like, it's where that trust your audience can be fun to play with, of like, I'm going to trust you to make your own assumptions about what you think they mean by that.
Good point,
like,
Doug.
So like, he could very easily, that's, we know that is what it's being translated from. Like, we know, because even Mr. Terrific is like, no, that's
quadruple down on the fact that it's a real video.
Yeah, they're like, no, that's not altered. That is what they said.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important that like Clark is taking that entirely out of. There is no other context. Like, there's nothing. It's just, so we don't know like what the conditions of Krypton were when they were saying it. Like, we don't know. We know as much as Clark does at that moment, which is not a lot contextually. So I do think it'll be interesting to see down the road, does this mean that the next Superman, are we going to get another version of Zod that is coming to do that? Like, and Clark has to like come to terms with it.
Yeah.
Like, I that's just all speculation. Please don't do any more with it than that. But like, I think we don't have any other context clues taking us anywhere with that particular information.
You're right.
The beauty you know what the beauty of that is what I think James Gunn wants it to be. That soft introduction in a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, because nobody saw it coming. It's like Whiplash. She walks the fuck in.
It was like,
because this world exists already.
Oh my
right?
God.
Like, it's like she walked right when Peacemaker showed up. Oh yeah, this guy thinks he's better than us.
All of it is so quick though that like you don't even, you know what I mean?
He's answering the questions and he's letting you know, yes, they are all in this same universe. Be patient and wait. This is a standalone movie. If you want to know more about Supergirl, you're gonna go watch Supergirl, which will be its own movie with its own vibe, and it'll all be connected, but it's not playing by the same Marvel rules.
No.
Because somehow I got a Riri Williams that I didn't see for 5 years, and all of a sudden never mind.
Well, here's the other thing I want to say though, like, because I think Brian brought this up. Brian made this point when he said Green Lantern, when he talked about Green Lantern, where he said Green Lantern. He mentions that, like, I took this vow, and we were talking about like how that's just such intelligent storytelling where you don't have to do any homework. With this and the way it was told, is it gives you the choice to do the homework. Like it turns homework into extra credit. Like,
if you know, really. It's like
if you know, but if you want to know, you can know. Like, if you watch Guy Gardner and you hear him talk about like a vow he took to protect the universe, and you're like, wow, that sounds really dope. There's a whole fucking tome of comic books that you can dive into to learn more if you want to, but that's not prerequisite reading for you to show up later. And what's even better is it's extra credit in the sense of there's a whole show coming that if you want to know more,
you'll see him again.
You can watch it by itself or don't. It doesn't matter because it still applies and it's still the truth. So it's changing that whole, again, I know we don't want to do comparisons between studios, but I'm going to fucking do it because I can. The other one is making you do the homework to show up and enjoy. And James has said, I kind of am tired of that nonsense. Like, what if we said you don't have any homework, but if you want to do more, you can do more?
I think that's a fascinating point. You're getting walk-off music and air horn.
Yeah, we're getting really fired up in this pod. Like, I'm digging it though. I'm digging it.
Is that what that's for?
Yeah, that's what that's for, bro.
Okay,
okay, that's good. That's
good. We were having another like Blue Eyes White Dragon mix situation again. Like,
maybe reach back there, motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh man,
Marcus hates me for this episode.
No,
I
didn't
can
say
feel
nothing.
it.
What?
I can feel
I
it
just
in
want to
his
say
bones.
that I do think it's important that, to your point, Doug,
She's kind of cute.
that
Mhm,
James
mhm.
Gunn is setting up these different spokes of the universe where you
Suit
can
looks good.
take a non-linear direction to understanding everything and be like, wait, who's this girl with a Superman emblem on her? And she shows up for 5 seconds
Mhm.
and then she's gone. No one calls her Supergirl. No one calls her Kara.
Says her
None of
cousin.
like she's just a cousin. Like none of the exposition is given,
Mhm.
but it gives you that other spoke that like, hey, next year if there was a whole movie about her, you could go check that out. Just by the way, you can go figure that out. And I think him taking that approach is going to make it feel a lot less like homework and exactly your point, Doug, of extra credit, just doing it that way.
The funnier part about all of these these character introductions like that, because all of that is right and spot on. Somebody's first interaction with Green Lantern is now Guy Gardner. So to Brian's point of like him hating that, there's somebody who's very first, anytime that you are like, I'm gonna give this a shot. Imagine the kid that is going in and finally able to understand movies. You know, that moment when we all finally clicked with us of what we liked about shit and understanding something and how it's connected. There is somebody who is now a fan of Guy Gardner from this because they liked his portrayal in this because he's still a hero. Is he an asshole? Yes, but they don't come with the extra baggage that we do of the comic book knowledge yet. So until they become a fan and do more reading, or they're introduced to Aaron Pierre, or they're introduced to is it Kyle Hagen? What's his name?
You got Kyle Rayner. You got
Kyle Rayner. Or I meant Hal, who's playing Hal Jordan, the actor. Until we get to a point where we like actually get the series and they can discover more people, a lot of people's first interaction with Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Superman, Cat Grant, Jimmy Olsen will be this movie. Yeah. That is a lot, but I think if you like, it's done well enough that you can build it on your own.
I accept your apology, Mason, that Guy Gardner was the first interaction for some people with Green Lantern.
Brian.
I appreciate that, Mason. But you're right. Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, Aaron Pierre as John Stewart is gonna that I'm so excited for that show and highlighting everything the Green Lanterns can be and the story that's there. I agree with you, Marcus.
In a murder mystery style with its own different tone and
chef's kiss.
The last one of the last things I think for me is the setup of the Justice League lightly. Right. And the JSA already exists in here. The Justice Society was a painting on the wall. We'll get here too. Let me I'll finish my point. And then
I just wanted to pull this up just for a second.
What am I looking at?
Don't worry about it.
Go ahead, Doug.
Nope, you got it. Go ahead.
No, Marcus, you should finish your point about the Justice Society.
This is why Marcus hates me for this episode, because I'm him for the first 4 seasons, and he's me for the first 4 seasons in this episode.
The Justice Society is painted on the wall in the Hall of Justice, what will be the Hall of Justice. Right. So they've been around for a while. Heroes have been around for a while. I like the open mind to play with this idea of like, I like what y'all established with the connection between heroes. That's great. They have this rapport with each other, and like that's what they are. What happens when you introduce a Batman and a Wonder Woman? Because Batman is the exact opposite. According to James, he doesn't want a Batman that's cracking jokes. That tone will be significantly different. Now, what happens when you introduce those characters to this world? They said the big 4 is Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Those are the anchors for this DCU.
Fascinating.
So what happens when you get that point? That's what I'm excited about next. Now you can add characters to this mix, add ingredients to this pie that now turns it into something like completely different in the best ways.
I love it.
Again, I think James' track record throughout this movie is to adding more to character development, adding more to how characters operate and carve out pieces of their world, can only add to the story, not take away.
Agreed.
So like I do think that everybody will have a role to play, and seeing how they play that particular role, I think that's where the fun of seeing them together will be.
Yeah.
Of like seeing a world's finest movie, and those two that are complete sides of the spectrum play off of each other will be very unique. And because your hesitation with that is, well, we can't have too much Superman, we can't have too much Batman. I feel like James's approach to coming at that is going to be like, no, fuck them, let them be both. Like, who cares? Like, we're gonna see that of like, he's not gonna get boxed into rules. He's not gonna be like, somebody has to be, Batman can only say the dark and brooding moments. Like, I think we're just gonna see it be like they are who they are, and now they're together. Like, I do think there's gonna be some of that to it.
I agree. Well, favorite moments from the movie as we, I guess, wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up.
I said this to Marcus. I did think that having not known a lot about Metamorpho, that is such a cool, like, he's such an like I was saying, like to Marcus on the drive back, I was like, man, he is such a powerful superhero, but like low key powerful. I mean, to be able to just, because he can recreate any chemical or metal or anything, just known or unknown. I do think it's really, really cool that he was able, like, that sun moment was just fucking really cool for me.
He's gonna be very important to the universe, and you can tell by the way that they set these characters up, right? You introduce a baby named Joey that's green, don't give any additional context. You just kind of say, "That's my baby. Can you help me save it?" And that's that. And how powerful Superman is. Like, he's not overwhelmingly powerful, but you're in a proton river, fighting against a black hole, carrying a baby and 3 other people, and fighting off raptors. You're flying into the air with the engineer with nanites in your lungs and covering your face, and Ultraman, who is a clone of you and stronger than you. And you fly into space and you're able to beat, like, you're showing strength. Even the fighting move Superman does, he takes Ultraman and slams the fuck out the engineer with this person in a spin move. Like,
he uses the engineer like a nunchuck.
A better,
like flinging her around.
Yeah. Like, we're fighting, like we're boxing. So I'm excited, man. I love this movie. I'm going to go see it like 2 more times in the theater, in Vermilion, and I'm just super excited to experience it now that we've reviewed the pod, just now as a fan, to see what I missed.
Yeah.
Because I will say, that is hard. Like, and we've talked about that before. We talked about it earlier on this podcast. It's hard. Like, to turn that brain off. So I'm really happy for you, one, that this movie came out, because I feel like you've been, as someone who's as a friend of mine of someone who's a diehard Superman fan, I'm glad you got this, and I'm glad that it worked. Because if it hadn't, that drive back would have just been so disappointing.
It would have been rough.
I would have had to drop you off somewhere, because I just don't know if I could have had that conversation.
I've been looking like a damn sad puppy for sure. It would have been rough. I'm glad.
Yeah, and I'm also glad that you're going to take some time to like enjoy it, because you're right. It's hard to turn that review brain off. So
yeah. No, honestly, my favorite part of the movie was the fact that everybody in this movie felt like they had seen a Superman movie before. So like, nobody was like, oh, no way, like, that's Clark Kent is Superman. Like, Lois Lane knew right away. And then they're like, I'm gonna get an interview with you, Superman. And they're like, how long have they been together? Like, there wasn't, all of that surface layer stuff was cut away. And I know I'm kind of cheating my answer here. I'm not choosing one specific moment, but the entire vibe of the movie was like, everybody's seen a Superman movie. Like, don't worry about it. We're going to give you the good stuff. That's what I enjoyed about it.
The lack of rules was one of the most refreshing parts.
Oh,
like not the lack of rules, but just the lack of feeling like everything has to be contained in this nice, neat little box. Like, I thought that was really refreshing, and kind of makes you kind of look forward to the next one. Like, you know, Marvel gets by on, like, you get excited for the next one because of how it relates to the one you just saw.
Sure.
I don't give a shit if this next one relates or not. I'm just excited to see what James Gunn does next, because this one was just such a fresh of breath air in superhero world.
I just think I know we're over time, but we just got a comment that said the woke parts were my fave, and
How could they not be? The
I
fact that
think it's-
Superman saves people in a woke way is the best part.
I think it's so funny that like love and kindness is like seen as woke, and I feel like that says more about the person criticizing that than anything else, really. I also Fox News pumped this movie up inadvertently, which I think is the funniest thing about this entire situation.
They thought they were doing some shit. First of all, I want people to stop using that fucking word. I'm so tired of hearing that fucking word. And
Same.
like now Fox News uses it more than anybody. What its original intent was, like Jesus Christ.
Right.
But they did hype this movie up accidentally, and now all of a sudden they shut the fuck up. So
my favorite part is when Superman saves somebody and then hands someone a copy of How Not to Be an Anti-Racist, like as he flies off. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, that part was really strange in the movie.
It was odd.
They wrote it in
really
such a casual way, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, where did they get the books
I also
from?
really liked it that like when he got to the Daily Planet and he landed, he did like a land acknowledgement statement of whose land it was before he went to work. Like that just really enhanced the story.
If you believe Fox News, you would think that's in the movie. So there's just so much happening.
You guys, it's so fucking stupid. Like it's so fucking stupid.
It's dumb.
I've been a fool on this podcast, but let me say the most serious thing. It's so dumb. Like that whole like the use of that, like all of it is so stupid.
It's so dumb.
Marcus, is there anything? Did you have a favorite moment? I know Doug and I talked about it before we close out, but was there anything that you wanted to say about it before we close out?
I think I enjoyed. There's a lot going on. The cuts are quick. There's a lot stuffed into this movie, but the simple moments. I wanted more Hawk Girl. I'll say that. I hope that we get that down the line. But
she killed the guy.
She killed the guy. She said, "I'm not Superman," and dropped that motherfucker. Like so. There you go. I really enjoyed the speech, Lex's speech and his delivery when he's talking through the suit. And Superman's delivery to Lex when she actually comes in. So, that's
what?
Cool. Hello there. I was a Moravian. Wow, that's crazy as hell.
Well,
we got to read that.
Bringing this movie to life.
Stick, that's so cool. Thanks for sharing. Like,
Stick Canning said, "Hello there. I was a Moravian soldier in the climactic attack filmed in Georgia for a couple of days in 2024. James Gunn was nice and funny on set. I brought my keepsake from set to the theater. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
That's such a great experience. Thank you for sharing that,
dude. That's such a cool story.
That it seems like there was a great environment and everybody actually liked each other, and you can feel that in the chemistry. I think that I liked the simplicity of the storytelling. I like that we got a Superman that is hopeful, and that's that. That's really what I want.
It was hopeful.
Marcus, really I ruined a lot of the things you wanted to talk about. Did you talk about everything you wanted to talk about?
It's okay.
We could put it in the double secret chat if that would make you feel better.
There's not enough. Oh, fuck the super secret chat. Funny thing is, on IMDb, they squeezed my credit between Supergirl and Peacemaker. Oh, damn. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Okay. You are now in the DCU. You are certified. Banger.
Congratulations.
And of the same cut and cloth as Peacemaker and Supergirl.
And how did you get here?
Yeah, you showed up to the Chuckle Fuck podcast. Is what you showed up to.
God. In the best way possible, though.
In the best way possible. But no, anything that you wanted to talk about that I stepped on?
No, I think it's all right. Everybody should go watch the movie.
You should.
Give it a chance. Just go and enjoy it. Don't feel like you got to do a lot of extra homework. Don't look at anything crazy.
Not joking.
Oh wow. Stick Candy.
That's hilarious.
Wow. That's
amazing.
Wow. That's incredible.
I'm happy for you, Stick. Yes.
Stick, come back another time. We would love to hear about it. Come back another time.
Yeah, that's
dude, come
how
back.
Did you get here?
I have so many questions. Come back. We'd love to chat more. Yeah, we love that. That's so cool.
Oh my God, that is so this pod is crazy. This is exactly why. Never mind. I'm gonna save that. They heard it in the pop-up pod. Y'all heard my damn soliloquy. This was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed discussing this entire Supermania journey with you all, because it's like this is my favorite character, and I'm excited to just experience it in a different way now. So,
Marcus,
yeah.
you have created an itch for me that I didn't know I had, though. Like I'm very I want to dive into the Superman world more.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you sharing this with us. One,
Thanks.
because I love learning new things about friends. I think that's the best thing ever is when you can share the joy with friends. But I also, it's just fun to talk about it, to talk to someone who's passionate about it and to hear why it's so like personally important, I think is a cool story. So I appreciate you taking the time and bringing us on the adventure. We'll have to do that with Brian and Star Wars at some point.
Yeah, we do. We should.
Stuck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We should do this again.
Yep. Gentlemen, what do you all have to plug before we close this out?
Hey folks, I was able to see this movie because my wife was able to be at watch the kids. So go over to thelovenerds.com, go support her business, thelovenerds.com, etsy.com/shop/thelovenerds. She's amazing. She helps me take advantage of all these opportunities that I have with this podcast. So shout out to thelovenerds.com.
Absolutely. Marcus, what do you have, sir?
Make sure you follow the mantra, never offended, always humble, and happy Big Texas Day to those that celebrate. Happy 713 Day. Shout out to Houston. Thank you for all the love and support today, from the pop-up pod to this pod to just people, and hit the mic, to people just on socials. It's a lot to keep up with. I get overwhelmed a lot. But however, I feel very loved today, very seen in a lot of the creative aspects that I have an itch for. And I just am very, very thankful to people. And this won't be the last time that you hear from us. We are working on the next song drop. It won't take long, but go stream Big Texas right now with Marcus Destin, Katie the Poet. Go stream some Soul Tie. He dropped some music this week too as well. Nothing Left, and Moonshine. So like, we are putting out music. We are putting our best creative selves forward. We just want you to be a part of that community in any aspect and all the ways that you love as well. So follow the mantra, never offended, always humble.
Absolutely. If you enjoyed our conversation, if you enjoyed Supermania month, if you enjoyed just this review, the best way to support your friends over here at Films in Black and White is to share us with your other friends who maybe don't know about us. So recommend us to a friend or a family member. Best way for independent podcasts to gain traction. If you're feeling generous, feeling like you want to help produce the show, head over to patreon.com/Films in Black and White. Consider signing up for one of the tiers there. We'd love to have you a part of the Patty family. Gentlemen, we have a 3-step process to success. Brian, what's that first step?
Hey folks, I'm here to tell you to read a book, and I'm going to use this last piece to finish out our Supermania month. If you have been with us the past 4 episodes as we've talked about Superman, and you're like, Brian, I can't get enough, or was it 3? The last this is 4 total, whatever. If you've been with us this whole time talking about Superman, you've made it to the end of this podcast and you're like, I need more. We don't have any more for you. However, if you like books, you should go read Invincible, because that's gonna be your jam. Go read all of Invincible if you like everything we talked about. So that's my thing. If you want to read a book, go read Invincible, because it's the same vibes as Superman, but it's different. So
or if you prefer a more woke Superman, there is Superman Fights the Ku Klux Klan. So there's a whole book about it. So you can check that out too.
I was gonna make a joke that says you can read the Bible.
That's well done. Mark, what's that second step, sir?
Make sure you drink some water. If you want to be a Superman, Superwoman, super person, you got to take care of yourself first. Make sure you drink some water, baby, in case you get kryptonite poisoning, because you don't want that. Drink some water, get in some sun, go touch some grass, you asshole.
Yeah, you should do that. Step 3, after you're done touching grass and being outside, you probably sweat. So you're going to need to wash your ass. It's really important. Get some soap, get some water, get a washcloth, get up in it, wash your legs. Everybody neglects their legs. They just let the soap run down. Wash your legs. It's a whole thing. But yeah, please do that. That does it for this stick. Let us know.
If you follow us, we'll reach out to you. Like if you follow us on one of our socials and just shoot us a message, we'd love to set that up and talk sometime.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, actually. Yeah, I'd love that. But that does it for this week's episode of Films in Black and White. As Brian mentioned at the top of the show, we are on hiatus next week. However, we will be back with the review of Fantastic Four.
Oh my God.
First
Crazy.
Steps, which is
That's
insane. But that's what we got. In the meantime and in the between time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We will catch y'all next week.
No, I know I'm no Superman.